What kind of sci-fi y'all like? Like, what's that good shit?
I lean more towards cyberpunk. Like, I love the grimy neon. Like, again, I know nobody else can see this, but like all the neon lights in my office.
I
Yeah,
see.
Yeah, like that it just vibes with me.
All right.
I like cyberpunk. Anything that's far future.
Cyberpunk is definitely my favorite. Y'all all stole my answer. Fuck y'all. But I just sci-fi in general. I just,
Hey man, you could have answered first. You didn't have to give it to us. Like,
you're right.
that's on you.
Look, there's a flow here, right? Nah, I should have said steampunk and then like pulled out a pocket watch or some shit, like a top hat.
But like, what's the last steampunk thing you've seen though? Like, I haven't
Oh
seen
There's
boy.
steampunk
only
in
two
forever.
steampunk movies. So
Right.
Wild Wild West, and I
Oh
think it
God.
was that French movie, that children of with Ron Perlman, The Lost Children, or can't
Uh,
remember the name of it, but it got
I
Ron
can't remember.
Perlman in it. There's only two steampunk movies, so
Right.
whatever.
I know it's
I guess.
problematic. In some arenas, it's not considered okay anymore. But I just like that Neo Japan stuff you get in Cyberpunk, where
Oh
like
yeah,
you get all the Neo because it already looks like that in real life anyway.
look,
You go to certain
problematic or
parts of
not,
Japan, that's what
I
you're getting.
like it. I'm sorry.
Would
I
the
mean, look
League
behind. I mean,
of
you can't really see
Extraordinary
it, but
Gentlemen? Sorry.
no, that's not steampunk. I know what
Okay.
you're
No,
saying. I think it's close,
Hmm.
but I don't think it's like enough. It doesn't lean in enough.
Okay.
I think
oh,
actually no. There's an argument for it. So since
Hmm.
there's only two, I'm not going to gatekeep the steampunk. We could probably count League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, but
Hmm.
definitely. But it's funny that the most on point steampunk movie that's not anime is freaking Wild Wild West.
Yep.
Anyway,
Yeah.
like when you see Ghost in the Shell,
Hmm.
Akira,
Yep.
Cowboy Bebop's not cyberpunk, but
It's
it's
not.
up there. But that's behind me.
Oh,
You know what it is.
space westerns. I mean, like, oh man, Firefly. Those are always good.
Put all that shit into my
oh
vein.
yeah.
Fun fact, not really fun because everyone looks at me the same way, but I have never seen Firefly. I own Firefly,
Oh,
and I've never seen Firefly
you should
How?
watch Firefly.
because I just didn't watch this shit. Like, it was,
I mean, once you get over the fact that Joss Whedon is an absolute monster, it's a really good story, and like the characters
yeah.
all great.
yeah.
So like I saw Serenity first,
Hmm.
and then everyone was like, that's the end of Firefly. I was like, oh well, hey, go back watch Firefly, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna get to it. And then I saw the DVD for like $15, and I was like, oh shit, Firefly! I'm finally about to get to it. I bought it, put it on my shelf, and then I heard like one more person say, yeah, watch it, and I was like, you know what, fuck y'all, I'm sick of this.
I get the same way. Like, every time somebody tells me something, so like when everyone approaches me and tells me the exact same thing, I don't have to watch it.
Here's the thing, I am not like that. I'm not like that. And like, cause it like low key irks me to be the anti person,
Hmm.
but for some reason, Firefly was that line that I drew where I was like, I don't care enough.
You
Mm.
sure
I
One Piece?
maybe it's not. I mean, is that yours?
Yep.
You're like, look, I don't. I'm sick of hearing about One Piece.
It's not even that bad. I watched a little bit of it, but everybody keeps talking about it, and it's ugly and it's too long. I don't
I
feel like it.
I don't have anything. I don't even. Here's the thing. I don't even think it's that. I think like I just got tired of hearing about it, as opposed to me making a conscious decision not to do it.
Mm.
Like I'm
Mm.
already tired of the show and I haven't watched it yet. Versus no, like it's too cool. But yeah. Anyway, so what would Dune be? What kind of sci-fi is Dune? It's not a space western.
It's not space western at all. No. Space imperialism. It's a Star Wars. I mean, like, again, like you got your empires and
Mm.
Yeah.
people being
Would it be space
downtrodden.
opera?
Yeah,
Because a western and opera is not the same thing.
that's true.
Not a opera, not yet. Not by part one.
Yeah, I mean, we'll leave that alone. So it's
Trilogy.
just sci-fi. So anyway, on that note, thank you for joining us today. If this is your first time with us, we're the secret group of brown kids. Who are the secret group of brown kids? It's a secret. But you might be able to find us sprinkling that Arrakis spice on our foods because that shit tastes different. And the Harkonnens were there all the time and didn't cook with it.
They had spice all that time,
All
but
that
didn't use it.
spice. Yeah.
That's why they look like that now, though.
It's
Oh,
super
they were
pale.
living jelly.
Oof.
The man was taking a jelly oil bath.
It
It
was
was
motor. It looked like motor oil. That was oh god.
Yeah.
it was Vegemite.
Oh
Ugh.
my gosh, it's even worse. I'd rather than the motor oil.
Yeah.
Uh,
So
so
nasty.
my name is Tiff Zilla, your host, and on this podcast I make my friends watch movies until either morale improves or we will run out of movies. And on the panel today, half donut, half potato, Chris.
100% vegetable.
See what I did there?
2.5 hours, man.
Uh, and when asked why he destroyed the community, he simply told the judge the spice must flow. Mauricio,
You know, that's fair. It must.
it's been almost a year, but we got him back. But the movie today is Dune Part 1. Is it officially called Dune Part 1 now?
I
Dune
think
Part
now
2 is
now
out?
part 2 is out. It was just Dune, and now it's Dune Part 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
They didn't want to tell people before Part 1 came out that it was 2 parts for whatever
Right.
reason. I guess it was like, look, I don't know. So some people felt like, they had the whole, oh, it's just half a movie thing. And some people were like, you know what? I'm fine with it because it's a lot of story.
Especially because they were actually like when Part 1 was released, they were already in the middle of working on Part 2.
Yeah.
So
Right.
like there was even a question that Part 2 was going to come out. It was just like, oh, it's coming out, but
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't know, because you live under a rock or the sand, movies about a noble family becomes embroiled in a war for control over the galaxy's most valuable asset, while its heir becomes troubled by visions of a dark future. And it was released in October 2021 in theaters and simultaneously on HBO Max, if I remember right, right?
that's right.
We were still in quarantine,
Mhm.
and it was like,
Yeah.
yeah, because we weren't sure if they were going to do it or not. Like, is it going to be in theaters? Are they going to push people back into theaters? And then I think they did both. Because I remember we watched it like in our living room.
I saw it in the theater. Like this is one of those movies. I was like, all right, cool. I'll put a mask on. Let's go see this.
Mm-hmm.
I thought about it because they were like, this is an IMAX movie, but also free. I think I don't remember what happened, but we were just like, all right, we're just gonna do it at home,
Mhm.
and I'll actually turn on my sound bar. That shit is real. Like I got one of those Dolby Atmoses that
Oh,
bounces the
nice.
sound off the ceiling,
Mhm.
and then the surround sound, and then the shit in the corner that makes the floor vibrate. Yeah, I can't think of the name. That's why I sound like an idiot. But
Did you
Subwoofer.
say that the
Subwoofer,
Dolby
thank you.
Atmos changes the atmosphere?
You said the Dolby Atmos changes the atmosphere?
Yeah, I said, would you say that it does that?
Yes. The reason I bought that one was because I think you were with us. We went into Best Buy in Virginia Beach, and the part of Virginia Beach we're at isn't the part that always has fighter jets flying over it because there's a base there, right? It's not that part, but we kept hearing planes fly over, and I was like, "Yo, why are they running these
Oh, yeah.
these plane training missions or whatever on a Sunday? They don't usually do it on Sundays. Also, we don't usually hear it this far out." And turns out, by the time we made our way to the back of the building, it was a fucking Dolby Atmos sound system bouncing the sound of a 757 landing off of the ceiling, and it came down in the front of the store, and it
Damn.
sounded like there was like planes flying over. And I was like, this shit would get me arrested. Like my neighbors are going to call the cops on me. But they were like, there was like a lesser version that's not as powerful. I was like, give me that one. And that was the first time I cut it on was when we watched Dune, and that shit was woo. Yeah.
That's a good workout for your subwoofer. That movie, man. Like everything vibrates. Like that movie's all about vibrations.
Oh my
Yep.
goodness. We'll get to it. Like when we talk about like the how the sand moves
Mhm.
when the worms are coming, like it's great.
Yep.
Chef's kiss. But anyway, let me finish the table setting. Why this movie? Because we're actually starting Denis Villeneuve.
Yeah, it's close enough.
Nailed it.
Did I fuck?
No,
Whatever.
you got it.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna just pretend. Even if I didn't get it right, I'm gonna just act like
Mhm.
one of the 3 people who listen could tell me I fucked it up. uh,
He's going to call you personally.
excuse me, it is Denis Villeneuve.
Sacre bleu.
Miniseries, because Dune was coming out. Originally, we were going to do Blade Runner 2049. I
Love
think
that movie.
Prisoners and maybe Arrival or something, but
Mhm.
none of that shit was streaming. I don't know why.
I thought Max would have like I was like, wait, Max doesn't have Blade Runner, but yeah, they don't have
Yeah,
anything.
they used to.
Yeah.
That's funky.
Yeah, and he's not like how Nolan. Most of his stuff is Warner Brothers.
All right.
He's not like that. He kind of hops around,
Mhm.
so his stuff is everywhere. But it just so happened that all the shit got taken down. I don't know if it's on purpose because Dune was coming out. They're like, okay, people, we're going to force people to buy it because they do that. Like if a new Fast and the Furious is
I,
coming out, they'll take all the Fast and the Furiouses down and force people to rent it.
I
But
got it.
well, look, you're a soldier. But so we had to like move some stuff around. So and I wasn't gonna do Dune because
Part
and
two is that today.
not yeah today it came out, but I wasn't gonna do Dune in the miniseries because I'm being weird, and I was like I don't want to do Dune 1 without Dune 2 because then we're not going to do a Dune 2, and then it's like we leave there's not a part 2 of the episode, you know.
We can end this at the to be continued.
Yeah, well, one day we'll come back to it. But because they took all his fucking movies off streaming, I I was like, okay, I guess we got to do Dune because we actually don't have a third at the moment because I was waiting for the month to roll over so I could pick the third one. Hopefully, it popped up today, so we'll figure that out. But anyway, this week is Dune Part 1. Next week is not Dune Part 2. Sorry, it's
Sicario.
Sakari. Thank you. It's been a long day, man. It's been a long day.
It's all right.
Anyway, so Denis Villeneuve miniseries. I think that's like our third director miniseries we've done.
Mhm.
We did Scorsese and we did Nolan. So hey, I even learned how to say his name. But the movie, back to the movie, we're starring Timothy
Chalamet.
Chalamet. Thank you. Look, look,
I got names.
I know how to say it, but like I second guess myself because I make fun of it so much.
Mhm. The T is silent.
Imothy Chalamet. Is that what you meant, right? Anyways.
Yep, Timothy. Imohi.
Chalamet. The T is silent. Also, Rebecca Ferguson, Oscar Isaac, Jason Momoa, Stephen McKinley Henderson, Josh Brolin, Shanna Duncan Brewster. Oh, sorry, Sharon Duncan Brewster, Shang Chen, Dave Bautista, Shang Chen again because I typed him twice.
I was about to say, I was like, is that like John Smith?
Is it like the last movie we watched where the actor played multiple characters?
Oh, you're right. I just put him down again. David. Oh man,
Just Malshin.
thank you.
Yeah.
You're lying. You got names. Zendaya, no last name. Charlotte Rampling and Babs Olusamakun.
That one I can't. You're on your own.
Mauricio, help me out with the African name. Olusamukun. Something like that.
I feel like that's not West Africa.
I feel like it's South. Not South Africa, like South, like the country, but like in the south of Africa.
Yeah, that
Like
makes sense.
Olusanmakun.
I guess we have the world's information at our fingertips. We could find that out. But I'm not going to. Sorry. Writers Frank Berbert. Is it or is it Bobert or is Berbert? Is a T silent?
Berbe.
He wrote the novel Dune back in the day, and for the screenplay we got John Spaeth. I misspelled his name. Denis Villeneuve and Eric Roth. Not Eli Roth, Eric Roth.
Oh.
I read it as Eli at first, and I was like, "Hold up."
I was gonna say, I was like, yeah, is this like a brother or?
I don't know, but hopefully not. Cinematography, Greg Fraser. This is our second Greg Fraser. What was our other one? He was on something. It was The Creator, right?
Yeah, did he do The Creator? I think that was it.
Yeah, that was like 2 episodes ago, 3,
yeah,
or 4 episodes ago. I'm just behind on putting episodes. So yeah, we said it was a WB movie. Budget $165 million. That makes sense. Everybody named Mom in this movie, and
a lot of sand.
A lot of sand. They had to import it.
Only the finest sand for our actors.
And the box office, even though it simultaneously came out on streaming, it still made a good chunk of money. Domestic, 108 million. International, 324 million. Worldwide, 433 million.
Not
I
bad.
mean, not bad for a pandemic movie. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you know what?
now
Yep.
my question now is that again now that we're on like the actual release night of Dune 2, does that number go bigger for part 2?
100%.
Yeah.
This is the first big movie of the year, and they've been pushing it and
Mhm.
pushing it, and there's been build up after build up, and it is a. I need to come up with a word for this. It's a film community movie.
Yeah.
Not, and the film community isn't actually that big. Like, very rarely can they save a movie. They can save small movies, but
Mhm.
they don't really save big movies. But he's definitely like catering to the film community while also having like a blockbuster, because just off of the actors he picks, like he
Mm-hmm.
has a lot of, film community favorite up and comers and like established folk. Like almost everybody is somebody where film folk are like, I would watch anything with them in it. So
True.
Yep.
I know, I see what you're doing, Denny. And awards, it won 10 Oscars, or I'm sorry, nominated 10 Oscars, won 6.
Is he like a Nolan where he works with specific actors like frequently? I'm just trying to think with
Not
Denis.
nearly as much as Nolan, but
Okay.
he might be like, there might be like 2 or maybe 3 movies tops.
Okay.
But so I don't know if it's enough for you to make that call, but he definitely reworks with people.
I was gonna say because like thinking about this and Sicario, the next movie that we're
Yeah,
doing,
yeah,
there's
Brolin.
nobody. I was like, man, there's nobody from that movie in here.
Oh, Brolin.
Oh, that's right, Brolin's in there.
Yeah,
Okay, yep,
yeah,
you're
that's
right.
his too.
Yep.
Like he'll do. He had a dang. I just had another one on my head and I forgot it. Anyway, I'll
Yeah,
come back to that.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's not. He's definitely not Nolan level where like Michael Caine is in every.
We need a wise old man, Michael. Can you do it?
I actually had a Michael Caine impression, and I haven't done it in so long that I don't think I can do it anymore.
Oh,
I
do it. Do it. Do
I
it.
got it because I watched. There's this movie or these movies called The Trip,
Mm,
and it's like the trip, the Italian trip, this trip or whatever,
mhm,
and starring Steve Coogan and I forgot what the other guy's name is. But every movie they just they're at dinner because like the premise is like one's like a food writer and he goes on like a tour of the restaurants in the area and he
mhm.
brings his friend with him, and at some point they're at the table eating food and then they just go on these like impression rants, and one of the impressions they do is always Michael Caine, and they're both doing Michael, and like somehow I picked up from their impressions the Michael Caine impression, but I'm sorry, I don't want to embarrass myself.
If we do a Michael Caine movie, I'm gonna have you. I need you to do a Michael Caine impression.
Gotta
All right,
practice ahead of time.
just for you.
Yep.
So yeah, nominated for 10 Oscars, won 6. It was nominated for Best Picture, didn't win for that, but it did win for cinematography, film editing. Hans Zimmer got his music Oscar, or at least another one. Production design, visual effects, and sound. Did I just name 7? Don't worry about that.
I wasn't counting.
uh,
Fun fact about Hans Zimmer: he turned down Tenet to do this movie.
that shit is wild to me
That's
because
crazy.
I realize it, but I didn't realize it because he always works with Nolan. So I
Hmm.
just thought about it. But at the same time, I knew that Ludwig, I don't know if I'm saying his last name right, Göransson?
Hmm.
Yeah, he,
Donald Glover's guy.
yeah, I knew that
Yeah,
he did Tenet's score, but it didn't click like, oh, if he did it, then that means Hans Zimmer didn't. And like,
Right.
yeah, but that's still wild.
yeah, and it paid off.
Yeah. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, Zimmer's my dude.
Hmm.
And I know it's easy to say Zimmer and like John Williams,
Yeah,
but
I mean those are also like big like for sci-fi, like those
yeah,
guys like
yeah.
those are your go-to people for like sci-fi soundtracks,
Like they done brought John Williams out of retirement 2
right?
times to like make more scores. Like it's like I can't do this movie without you kind of
Right.
deal. Like so I get it. And then they got the new folks coming up, Ludwig, and there's another guy that like that I was trying to pay attention to, and I already done forgot his name. So rest in peace. Rotten Tomatoes. Tell me if this makes sense. Audience scored 83, critics 90.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I mean, both are fresh, and
Yep.
it's not that far apart.
Hmm.
But I can definitely see how the critic score is higher than the audience score on this.
Yeah, like I'd say like it kind of ran a bit long, so I could see why the audience score would kind of dip a bit.
Also,
But
like big words, funny names,
oh yeah,
wild concepts. Not everybody.
average people are average.
I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so I guess we could get into this now.
true.
I hated the first Dune movie. I hated it with a passion. It was the day I think David Lynch did it right. It
Yes.
was too weird. I didn't understand what the fuck was going on, which
Weren't
might
there
be on
also
me.
weren't there also multiple cuts of that movie? Like didn't Lynch like have a like an unreleased version that was a lot longer and the studio was like, no, you can't do that.
I
I
didn't
don't
know
know.
that.
I know for sure Blade Runner, but I don't know about
Uh
Dune. Also, wasn't there another one that I know there was a TV show, but then there was a third one that didn't get released. Wasn't is that are you talking about like I don't know if I'm saying the right name, but it was like somebody's Dune.
I don't know.
Why does that sound familiar?
Jadwarski's Dune or something like that. Look that up for me.
Yeah.
I'm not crazy. I mean, like there's a third one, and I don't know if it's a whole other movie or if it's a cut or what. But there's something else that may or may not have been released, and maybe I should have done better research. I'm sorry, but I hated the old one, and like everything about it was weird. But especially the thing that really got me was the bad guys were coded as homosexual and like in a really like skeevy way. It's unfortunate, but like a lot of, especially from the 80s and 90s, a lot and Disney fucking movies, a lot of the bad guys are coded homosexually. But like it's almost just like, oh, they're British or they're gay or they're gay British, like Jafar from Aladdin, right? Think like that, right? But it wasn't even like that. Which even then, to me, I don't see those characters and immediately think, oh, they're gay. And maybe it's just me, but I can see the argument for it for sure. But like, I don't. That's not where my brain goes. That like every gay dude don't act like Jafar to me, right? But the way they did it in the old Dune movies, it was so weird. It was so weird.
Mm.
And I mean, David Lynch is makes weird movies, but
Hmm.
like something about it was off-putting, super off-putting, and then the whole thing was weird and it was dry, no pun intended. Uh, so I wasn't a fan of the old one.
Nah,
And
me
then we
either.
watched this one, and like I said, we watched it in our living room, and Mauricio was there, and there was three other people there. And sometimes I'm gonna come out and say it. Sometimes, like y'all kill my vibe. So I might have to go back and rewatch a movie every once in a while if we do it like that. Like I think The Green Knight was one that I was like I can't I'm not enjoy I feel like I should be enjoying this movie when I'm not. I'm gonna just go to bed. I'll see y'all later. And I left everybody and I watched the movie by myself the next day and I loved it. And like Dune, I finished, but something about it didn't click with me, and I'm not. I don't think it was the company.
Okay.
I think it just the movie just didn't click with me yet. Because I really had to sit there and think about it, and I was like, I need to watch this again, and I didn't watch it again until tonight, and it clicked this time, and I was like, oh, I can't fucking wait until we go see two.
Well, it's way better the second time.
Yeah,
It was. It
it was
was.
so much better the second time.
There's just a lot going on the first time. Honestly, I still don't know what the fuck Spice does as far as like
It's
why
a
they're
drug
harvesting.
So
that helps you pilot ships better. Like the entire thing is like that.
Yeah,
That's
I
what
wrote it
helps.
down
Okay.
because I knew we'd have to talk about it. But yeah, yes. So I'm glad that we're all in agreement. It was better the second time.
Yeah.
way better.
Okay, yeah, because
I didn't
think
dislike it the first time. It's just
yeah, I
I
knew
had no idea what was happening.
I knew I could feel that something didn't click. Like I didn't
Right.
get something that I should have.
Mhm.
And this time it all worked, and I was like, okay, I understand. I'm with it, and now I'm excited for the second part. Spoiler
I think it
alert.
was me trying to follow the cast because again, this is a massive cast of characters,
Yep.
and people disappear and then they come back, and you're just like, yeah, oh yeah,
You're
that's
just
that guy
really
from the
stuck on
beginning,
this nigga named Duncan Idaho.
right?
That was why is
That's
his
the
name?
best part for me. This man has the most basic but weird name.
And I love that he's like the badass character, and I love that it's Jason Momoa
Mhm.
playing like this.
Jason Momoa.
Yeah, right. Is this
Yep.
playing Duncan Idaho?
They
Just
could
go
have
out
changed
there
his
and
name.
be
Like,
yourself.
Jesus. Dunkin' Potato. I mean, I was like, really? What kind of name is this?
Oh,
You're
man.
protecting the Spice Jesus, and your name is Duncan
It's a name
Idaho.
you're gonna remember. Duncan, Idaho.
I will never forget Duncan Idaho's name.
Look,
Never.
I can't remember nobody else in this movie name except for Paul and Duncan, Idaho.
Right.
Yeah,
So, and it's Paul was
basically.
funny to me too. Like
Hmm.
that last name Atreides is dope. That's a
That's a
dope,
tight name,
strong
right?
name, right?
Yeah.
And then this nigga first name is Paul.
Right. Like, what? Who did this? Man. Go past Greek last name, and his first name is Paul.
Paul. Hey,
Look,
Paul, get over here. I mean, his uncle's name was Duncan, so I mean,
Yeah.
wait,
Yeah.
was Duncan his actual uncle, or was it just
I-
uncle like you always around uncle?
maybe it was you were always around. Like he's like
Maybe.
family friend uncle. Like
Yeah, I mean, I could tell that like I was calling him the court, but
Mhm.
Josh Brolin, Jason Momoa. Let me put some respect on this man's name. Stephen McKinley Henderson.
Oh
Like
yeah,
those were like his like the
Entourage. Yeah, the like.
it was the Duke's like closest dudes, right?
Yeah.
And all
Yeah.
Paul's like uncles, right? Yeah, so I get that.
One of
Mm-hmm.
my favorite scenes, and I know we're not even talking about the movie yet, but with like Steve McKinley Henderson, like when his character, like after the assault,
Yeah.
and he comes in, he's like, I lost Paul, and like I failed you, and he's just like, he's like,
Yeah, he's
he's
like,
like,
I'm giving him my resignation. He's like, shut the fuck up. No,
fuck
you
up, right?
won't. Where you going? You ain't going nowhere. You want to make it up to me, then find
Find
these
my
dudes.
son, yeah. Get all these spies out of my house.
Yeah. You ain't quit. You
Yeah.
can't quit. No, don't accept your resignation. Oh, but yeah, you're right. Like they're like a family. It's like,
Yeah.
nah. But we'll get into that.
Mhm.
I feel like I didn't finish a thought, or Mauricio didn't finish a thought.
I don't even know.
Anyway, so I guess we'll keep moving. So before we get into the movie, shout outs.
Mhm.
I am so behind with episodes that people kind of stop listening. So it's all right. It's on me. Work has been killing me. I'm so
I get
sorry.
you.
Work. We went out of town last weekend, or 2 weekends ago. My ankle like decided to betray me. Like I had a lot going on. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Been going through it these last couple of weeks, but
Life happens, but it finds a way.
I'm gonna catch it. Yeah, life finds a way. I'm gonna catch up. I'm gonna get all these unreleased episodes out to our three friends. Hey, they loyal though. They loyal. I respect them. So you know what? That's who I'm gonna shout out again. I'm gonna shout out Jalinda. I'm gonna shout out Adam. I'm gonna shout out was Washington, Justin in Ontario. And then our other Ontario friend, who I'm not sure who that is, Texas. All our usual suspects that I may or may not know who you are, but
All the
thank
way in
you.
the
Thanks for
cold north, huh?
listening.
Yeah, we got two
Man.
hardcore Ontario, or maybe it might be more, but
Did they know Drake?
Drake knows them.
Is
Drake
it the
knows
same
them.
part of Canada?
Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I haven't.
In Toronto, it's a good thing.
Okay.
Yeah,
Is Toronto, Ontario?
yeah. It's
Nice.
like Miami being in Florida. Like, yeah, Ontario is
Okay.
the state
Okay.
The
province.
Providence, yeah.
So yeah,
Movie time.
movie time. We already said how we felt about it, so I'm gonna just keep it moving. We're about to spoil the movie. If you haven't seen it, it's on HBO Max. Go watch it.
And Hulu.
And Hulu, formerly or was on Netflix until yesterday. So if you're a time traveler, you can catch it on Netflix. And part 2's out now, so do the thing. So I feel like my cup is refilling itself. It's wild.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
It's the
I told you
spice.
mine would. It's a
Spice.
spice. It's that spice.
Yeah. So film starts out with Zendaya. I did not write down the character's name, so just it is what it is. Also,
Chani.
she's Chani. Thank you, Zendaya. Chani narrating. My planet Arrakis is so beautiful when the sun is low, rolling over the sands. You can see the spice in the air. At nightfall, the spice harvesters land. The outsiders raced against time to avoid the heat of the day. They ravage our lands in front of our eyes. Their cruelty to our people is all I've known. These outsiders, the Harkonnens, They came long before I was born. By controlling spice productions, they became obscenely rich, richer than the emperor himself. Our warriors couldn't free ourselves from the Harkonnens, but one day, by imperial decree, they were gone. Why did the emperor choose this path? Who will our next oppressors be? And like as she talks, like we see like the harvesters and the dudes popping out of sand and attacking the Harkonnens and shit like that, right? And then
Mhm.
Mhm.
I didn't write this down, but it cuts to Paul having to played by Timothy Chalamet, having breakfast with his mom, Lady Jessica, played by
Mhm.
Rebecca Ferguson. And after he has breakfast, basically she's like trying to teach him how to do something, and he's not quite getting it, like, because he has like powers, and then
Mhm.
we find out more about it later on, but he's not quite getting it. And then he goes back to his room to study Arrakis, and like he puts on his little History Channel shit, and it starts to play. That says extreme temperatures, treacherous weather events, and life outside of the city of Arrakis are truly hostile. With sandstorms powerful enough to cut through metal, only the native tribes known as the Freemen have adapted well enough to survive.
Fremen.
Fremen, sorry, not
Mhm.
Freemen.
I read that all the time, and I was like Freeman. It's like, oh no, it's Fremen.
Yeah,
I've been
Fremen.
saying Furman before today, and then I saw it was spelled with the R was in the wrong place. I was like, oh, my bad. I mean, the R was in the right. Fremen. The Fremen have adapted well enough to survive. Preferring to inhabit the remotest regions of Arrakis, the Fremen share the deep desert with the giant sandworms, known to the Fremen as Shai Halud. Did I say that right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Long exposure to the spices given the Fremen their characteristic blue eyes, the eyes of Ibad. Dang, the eyes of Shibad. Uh, uh, little else is known of the Fremen except that they're dangerous and unreliable. That sounds.
Racist.
Super racist.
They're lazy.
I feel like this is the movie's way of saying Indian giving
Right?
Uh-huh.
without saying it.
Uh-huh.
And then says the Fremen attacks make spice harvesting extremely hazardous. For Fremen, spice is the sacred hallucinogen which preserves life and brings enormous health benefits. For the Imperium, spice is used by the navigators of the Spacing Guild, to find safe paths between the stars. Without spice, interstellar travel is impossible, making it by far the most valuable substance in the universe.
See, that's what I'm
Okay,
talking about. What does that mean? Do
so
you have to trip a
You
little bit?
have to be high to drive, is what they're saying.
Yeah.
yes, yes. So this is what it does, right? I mean, yes, it has health benefits, kind of like
Yes.
elderberry or sea moss, right? But
Right in my TikTok shop.
what it does is like when you're high off of spice, it basically like I don't want to say omnipotent, but it's like you're seeing through space time. So
Mm.
that's how come getting high off of it helps the space navigators, because then they could be like, this is what I don't know, because they also say at some point it's instantaneously. So I don't know if it's like they're using the spice to figure out how to make wormholes,
Well, that was the other thing too, because
because they're not really like traveling through space. They go up into space and they go through the thing, and then they come out where they want to come out. But the navigators is what like helps them get out the right place, right?
I think so.
Yeah,
Now, I'm trying to remember, like, and again, I'm kind of skipping ahead, but didn't Paul at one point get a contact high?
Mm-hmm.
2 times. Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
When he first when they're trying to save the miners from the
Mhm.
first sandworm coming, the
Yeah.
wind blows and it hits him and he gets it.
Oh,
And
yeah,
then
he
the
was
second
flying.
time was when they escape and he was like, "There's spice in the tent," and it happens again. Yeah. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
contact high. He didn't even have to snort it. He
No,
just,
it's whew.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
wind blew. What do you think it smelled like? A skunk? Anyway, no, no. Uh, so that's, I could be wrong, but I think that's my understanding of it. Is once it's in you, what you can experience is like your mind is able to comprehend space time
Mhm.
in inexplainable ways. That's
That
how
makes
come they
sense.
can navigate. But
Navigate the
that's also
stars safely.
when, yeah,
Safely.
yeah.
Yeah.
But that's also how when the wind blows and he starts tripping,
Mhm.
he's seeing the future and the past or not really the past, but the future, but also like he's omnipotent.
Yeah.
That's when he's omnipotent because like he was having visions of the future. He was like thinking about like Zendaya, right? And he's like, damn, she
Yeah.
pretty. While at the same time, he like said like, I know your footsteps, old man, right before Josh Brolin touched him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like he was aware that he was coming to get him while also thinking about old girl, while also being like, what these people fighting about over here. And like it was just confusing for him because there's a lot of information at once.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I know somebody that smoked some weed one time. They don't smoke. They did it for a girl, and they figured out space time
Does
at
his
that smoke
name
session.
does his name rhyme with Mauricio?
No.
Okay.
But yeah, no, he was saying how he figured out space time in that session,
Does his
and it
name
made
rhyme with
sense.
Terrence Howard?
Terrence Howard. No, but yeah, he figured it out, and he was like, he honest to God knew at that moment how to travel through time, and it made sense.
Wait, well, hold
And
up, wait. Stop right there. You said, honest to God, in that moment, it made sense. When you said it made sense, is he saying it made sense to him? Or are you saying that he explained it to you and you're like, damn, you're right? That is
no,
how
he
you
said it made sense to
translate.
him.
Okay.
And as the high went down, and like as time went by, days go by, weeks, months, he could no longer like
Still
bring
I
that
think
memory back. But he knew in that moment
that it
that it
was
made
right.
sense.
You know what? I believe him.
Almost like a window had opened, and then then the shutters closed again.
Look, this is a whole
So maybe
different
that's what Spice
podcast.
does.
It's a whole different podcast, but
This
you
is
know,
not Joe Rogan.
I don't do drugs. But there's
Yeah,
been
me neither.
times where I'm like, look, I think I can bend time.
Right.
Like when you beat the GPS, like the GPS I wasn't gonna make it in time, but I'm here 5 minutes earlier, and like I stopped and I was breathing real specific, and then
Yeah.
like the lights were just turning green, and like you just
Get that zone.
Look, man,
get in the
it's like you
zone.
just said.
Look,
This is not the same podcast, or different podcast. I'm gonna leave it at this. I believe with all my heart that GPS is a constraint because when I set the
crutch.
GPS, I'm locked into that time. When I don't use it, I always get somewhere faster if I already know where I'm going. But if I use it to check for traffic, I get screwed over.
Look, you know what? I stopped using my GPS to check for traffic, and I just feel it now.
Yeah,
Look, I understand.
little key bump of spice will do wonders.
Look, I started to wonder if it was my cologne.
It's the oud.
Look,
from the same place as the spice.
We're really into cologne, right? And there's one we got a discovery set from this one brand called shit. It's behind me too. What is it? It's somewhere over there. But they have one cologne called "The Spice Must Flow," and it's a reference to Dune. That jank is it's strong. So maybe if I spray "The Spice Must Flow" on me, 14 sprays minimum.
So you get a contact higher off the spice.
I'd be able to traverse space time.
Yep.
Look, the answers are all right there. Anyway, that's another podcast. So back to this one. So that's what I think spice is. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so now the movie actually starts as the ship lands on the planet Caladan, and the Duke of Caladan, Leto Atreides, played by Oscar Isaac, he greets messengers from the. Now, bear with me here. He greets messengers from the Padishah Emperor, Shaddam IV, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the emperor of like the universe or the galaxy or just the. Do they ever actually specify?
Well, he's emperor of.
Yeah, just
gotta be
everything.
Multi-planet.
I
I
mean,
don't think it's a.
Well,
They don't say in the movie yet.
If it's a solar system or a galaxy, not the universe, can't be the universe, right? But
can't be the universe too much.
Yeah,
never know though,
or at least the observable universe.
Yeah.
So let's just say galaxy. Let's go with galaxy. So he the emperor of the galaxy, and what's his name? Padishah Emperor Shaddam IV. So he sends these messengers to Caladan, right? And they stroll out and they announce that the Emperor is assigning Duke Atreides, Oscar Isaac, as the new fief holder of Arrakis. So like he's putting him in charge of the planet with all the spice, right? And that's replacing the old fief holder, Baron Vladimir Harkonnen. And like it's like, why are you doing it? Anyway, we'll get into that. But so Duke accepts, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like he's real like official about it. we are House Atreides. There is no call that we do not answer. There is no peace that we do not betray. It's like, dang, I want to start talking like that.
So that was one of those things that kind of like they did all this, but they didn't explain any of it because like this entire part of the movie where this is kind of like a dangling string that we're just
they touch on it in a conversation real quick in the next scene or the scene after the next, but they don't really spell it out. Because I think that's the one thing I was real confused about the first time I watched it. Was
they're just like, hey, Harkonnens, you get out of here. We're gonna put the Atreides here now, and then that was it.
Yeah, because like they don't say at first. They don't say if they messed up,
right?
And it's like, okay, you fucked up the spice flow. We replace you with old boy. Like all the explanation comes in real quick conversations later on.
Because again, even so Duke Atreides he's basically freaking out because like they have to have like spice supplies by a certain time. Like there's an expectation, and the Harkonnens to kind of like set them up for failure by basically like destroying half the stuff. And they're like, what was it? The spice supply that they're supposed to have, like half of it was missing.
Yep. They took it.
Also, shout out to Oscar Isaac for being able to play any Mediterranean-based race while being like Mexican or something.
Guatemalan.
Guatemalan. Yep.
Yeah. Hey man,
it's amazing.
Look, I understand this is sci-fi, so the shit don't actually matter. But in general, I understand. Hey, if this character is this, try to get that to play it.
Right.
But also, sometimes you got to bend it. Like, what if you don't get the right person, even if they're the right thing? Where's that line? Because at the representation absolutely matters. 100%. But also, if you don't get the right dude, it's a business. I get it. I understand. Like Hollywood is a business. That the studio cares about getting ass in seats.
Yeah,
that's why they will cut a trailer that spoils everything. Because it looks so amazing to get people in the seats, and then you go watch the movie and be like, everything was in the fucking trailer. This movie sucks. Like they don't care because they got their money, right? They just care about getting ass in seats. So it's like, okay, you got a big movie, you need a big star.
I will say they pushed Zendaya heavy in the trailer for the first one, and she is in like 10 minutes of this movie. Totally,
not even 10 minutes. It's funny because that was the first review I read for this was I was Zendaya baited, which is hilarious to me. But yeah, so I'm just saying, I'm ranting about it, but like. I love seeing Oscar Isaacs, and at the same time, I agree representation does matter. There's also like, I'd be lying if I said I didn't find there to be some magic in folks that can play whatever. Like Cliff Curtis. Cliff Curtis has played every race. Like the only time I get mad about it if it's like The Rock playing the white guy. That's the only time I get mad.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, because like
he played one in a wax museum once.
To his credit, he told him to fix that shit.
Yep.
But in the movie San Andreas, he had a whole ass white family, and they just and it was like, no, that is supposed to be his daughter. He's not stepdaddy.
Biological,
not even slightly ambiguous. Just white,
blue-eyed, fair-skinned daughter, and it's just like we just not gonna. Okay, all right. Like I don't mind colorblind casting, but sometimes it's like, well,
but also like, help me suspend my disbelief.
Yes, help me. Also, like when you do it it's the status quo. White is the status quo. Ergo, just make the family black. Like that's right? or sorry, make the family Samoan and black.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. Look, they could have literally thrown anybody just like a little bit light brown in there.
Look. He could have had a Mongolian daughter. Like you got. I wouldn't have said shit. I would have been like, "Huh, okay, it's progressive." Yeah. But the whole family alabaster, and then there's The Rock. We just not gonna talk about. Anyway.
So to your point, that's why I gave him a shout out because it worked. Like I know that this man is from South America.
Yeah.
But also he has the right face where it's like, huh.
Yeah. And
little empathy could be his son with a white woman.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Yeah,
Yeah,
because she's very fair skinned. So like, I think
I can
she's
see it.
Irish in real life, right?
I
So
think so.
like
That's like pure white. Like
yeah,
you
like
get
she
whiter
is
than that.
Anglo
Yes, you're
Saxon.
frozen.
She's Anglo Saxon. So their kids are gonna be bright.
Very bright.
uh anyway, yeah, that's funny. Uh what was I where was I going?
My bad. I just had to give
uh,
him a shout out.
Shout out to who's the dude on our friends list? I'm not going to say his name, but there's someone who's always like, "Yeah, space tos." Oscar Isaac and Pedro Pascal, space tos. Yeah.
Oh
Uh,
man,
so yeah, so he accepts it, right? And then we meet Duncan Idaho, played by Jason Momoa. You
Mr.
know,
Potato.
no,
My
you
man.
didn't. We don't know, or you said you don't know if he's actually his uncle, but I'm gonna make it his uncle now, so
Yeah.
it's too late.
That makes sense.
Uncle Duncan Idaho.
I mean, like the way he greets him and everything, like it looked like it was a family member.
Yeah, because I mean, he probably was raised around him. Like I said,
Yeah.
he's uncle by like proximity because he was just
Right.
always there.
Well, he's the weapons master, and Lil Paul would have always been under his tutelage, probably from like age 6 or 7 on up.
Yeah, he's the cool uncle, right?
Yeah.
Like
Hmm.
there's Gurney who's Josh Brolin.
Mm-hmm.
He be teaching him how to fight, and weapons master Duncan Idaho, who also teaches him how to use the weapons.
Best in the Imperium.
Yeah. So he meets him. Well, we see like a fighter plane, futuristic fighter plane, fly into the hangar, and like he comes out and greets Paul, and Paul's like, "Hey man, I want to come with you to Arrakis tomorrow. I heard you leaving." And he's like, "Nah, like you leave with everybody else in a few weeks. I'm just going there early. I have my own thing to do." And he's like, "Nah, but I saw a vision of you dying, and I don't think you're gonna die if you let me come with you." And he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna be fine, dog. I'm Duncan Idaho. Everybody know what up." So then we see Paul ask his dad if he could go with Duncan, and he immediately shuts that shit down. And like, then he tells Paul that the Emperor is on some fuck shit, and he's setting the stage for war by replacing Baron Harkonnen with the House Atreides. So like, Oscar Isaac, Duke Atreides, he's smart as shit, and he's also a really nice guy, right? So like, he's like, look, I know something is up, right? Like, they wouldn't just all of a sudden, for no reason,
Yep.
kick them out and put me in, right?
Hmm.
So, but the thing is, if we control Arrakis, like that's a lot of power. Because, like Zendaya said in the narration in the beginning, the
Harkonnens.
Harkonnens who worked Arrakis and took the spice, they got so rich doing it that they were richer than the Emperor.
So
So,
first you get the spice, then you get the power,
Hmm.
then you get the respect.
Hmm. Hmm.
so he recognizes that, right? So he's like, that's a very powerful chip.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna do it, but we know we're walking into a trap. And I need you to not go with Duncan, because I got Duncan on my own mission. And I just need you to like just pay attention and be straight, right? Like just stay close. A lot of stuff is happening right now. Just chill. Just chill, but pay attention. And then Paul's like, but what if I don't want to be the leader of the house? And like this part's real, because as a dad, I understood it. He said, look, your grandfather said a great man doesn't seek to lead. He's called to it, and he answers. And if your answer is no, then you'll still be all that I've ever needed you to be, my son. Right? And I
Hmm.
felt that. That was real.
Yeah,
Because, like,
that was good.
before my son was born, I prayed. I was like, look, like, I just want him to be healthy and be a good person. I don't need him to be an astronaut, a lawyer, a doctor. He don't got to save the day. I just want him to be healthy and be a good person. That's all I ask. And if in 20 years, if he all he does is make TikToks and he's still live in my house, I can't be mad because all I ask for.
Be a good person.
He ain't moved out yet. Dropped
Look,
out of school.
as long as he's not a jerk, he's a good person and he has his health, I can't say shit, right? So,
You say that to he looking at you from across the table at 25 years old, room dirty as shit, no job.
hey man, why your room smell like this?
Don't put that on Tiff's song.
Look, it's Man, that's why I started laughing as I was talking. But look, anyway, I understand as a dad. That's some real shit. It's like, look, I understand. One, he's right. Like, I'm in agreement. Like, I'm in that small percentage, that very small percentage of people who was fine with how Game of Thrones ended, who ended up on the throne, because that made perfect sense to me. The person who doesn't want to be king is probably one of the best persons to be king. Cause
The bird guy?
no, the Bran.
Yeah, Brand, the Birdman. He's at the birds to watch people.
Oh yeah. I forgot he was a warg or whatever.
Mhm.
Look, I think Brand wanted to be on the throne. He set the whole thing up.
Because he was on that spice. His brain could
Yep.
see space time. Look. Anyway,
Yep.
that's another podcast. Anyway,
Parallels.
and my point is, I that shit makes a lot of sense to me. You know,
Mhm.
the dude who should be leader doesn't want to be leader, but he will be leader if he has to be, right? But he said, "Look, but you're still my son, and if you don't want to be, like, you still gonna be my son. That's real." So then we get a little sparring scene where we really get introduced to the character, or not. I don't think we ever really get introduced to Gurney, Josh Brolin, but we could tell that okay, he's one of the uncles, you know, his right hand man, and he
As he's
also
training
like
Paul.
helps train Paul, and like Paul's like not taking it seriously, and Josh Brolin starts snapping. He's like, "Look, you never met the Harkonnens before. I have. They're not human. They're brutal. You have to be ready." And Paul's like, "I guess."
I ain't scared of them.
Right? Like Josh Brolin, and it's just the look on his face is just like, "You need to stop fucking around." Like, they're coming. They're here. And like once again, if Duke Atreides figured all that out, either Josh Brolin also figured it out, or they talked and they were in the know. They know that they're going to have to fight Harkonnen soon because this shit just ain't no free lunch, right?
Mhm.
So next, we see on Gidi Prime. I don't know if I'm saying that right. They only say it once in the movie. The homeworld of House Harkonnen. Raban, Dave Bautista, is visiting his uncle Baron Vladimir Harkonnen while he's taking a steam bath. There's 3 points in this movie where he's just like
Taking
on
a
a
bath.
spa day.
Yep.
All the Harkonnens, the whole Harkonnen setup, they all remind me of the Cell.
That's because that just that pasty,
Mhm.
doughy face, no hair. Yeah. Also, now I see what you mean. Not just that, but the production too.
Yeah, they
The
just
set
look gross.
design. Yeah. So he came to visit him while he's taking a steam bath, and like he's reporting that the ships have left Arrakis, and then he threw a fit about it, like why we gotta go. Ugh. And then Baron comforts his idiot nephew, and he's like, "When is a gift not a gift?" And he tells him that the Atreides voice is rising, and the Emperor is a jealous man. So chill, man. Just trust the process. So this means that basically, like I said, Duke Atreides is very smart and he's very loved and he's a very nice guy, right? So he's got a whole lot of people who like him,
Mhm.
and the Emperor sees that. It's like, yo, you getting more popular than me. We got to cut you down, right? So
Okay.
the Emperor sets the trap. So he tells the Baron, pull his folks out. I'm going to put Atreides in there. And then y'all can slip back in, kill him, because you're going to sabotage everything. You're going to slip back in, take him out, and then you have the planet back, basically, right? So, you're in good standing with us. I take out a possible threat to my power. Everything's hunky dory. And Atreides done figured that out. But he's like, look, if we play our cards right, we can come out on top. So I get it. I don't know if I would have, because you also can't really tell the Emperor no. So he's like, well, we're
Right.
going to do this and we're going to try our best to cook. We know we're going into this trap, but we're going to try to figure out how to get out of this trap while we're in it. And as time went on, I think once he saw like how bad or how hard it would be, I think he realized like we're not going to win. And when we get to that part, I'll mention it. But so in the middle of the night, Paul's mom wakes him up to meet with the Reverend Mother and Imperial Truthsayer to the Emperor, the Lady Jessica's mentor, Gaius Helen Moheim.
You gotta say it Jewish, it's Mohaim.
Moheim.
I was like, hey, yo.
Yeah. And like she's the top dog of the Bene Gesserit, and she arrived to test Paul basically. So now let's explain the Bene Gesserits, right? And tell me if I mess up here.
Okay.
So basically, they're like this sect of I don't want to say
Space
witches,
nuns.
but space nuns is a
They
nice
witches.
term. They witches, but right, and they have powers.
And they're also spies.
Yeah, they have powers, and so because what it is Paul says it. Paul and his dad say it at some point that basically they kind of pull the strings from the shadows.
Mm-hmm.
Because remember, this lady here is the emperor's like chick.
Mm-hmm.
Like his I guess the word is truthsayer, but you know what that means. Like
He's the high court priest.
yeah, exactly. Thank you. Like she's the court priest. So she has the emperor's ear, right? So and she's the leader of the Bene Gesserit, and like they're these, ancient space witches. And basically what they've been doing for thousands of years, their whole purpose is they've been purposely like breeding certain lines to try and eventually create.
That's the thing. It's supposed to be women only. So the Bene Gesserit are only women.
Yeah.
And so but basically Paul being basically a like them giving birth to a boy kind of is they don't see they see Paul as kind of like a what's the word I'm looking for?
It's a taboo.
Yeah.
There it's uncertainty. Like
right.
so they've been breeding for thousands of years, and it's supposed to eventually get to like someone who has like it's like bloodlines. Like okay, now this kid has strong powers,
Mm-hmm.
and this bloodline would strengthen their power. So they're building up a kid that has strong enough powers that would eventually become the new space messiah and would be powerful enough to lead humanity into a brighter future, right? And it's supposed to be girls because they're only breeding girls, is like what you said. And Paul's mother, Lady Jessica, side note, I didn't catch this until this time, but because somebody actually calls Lady Jessica the Duke's wife, like the queen or whatever, but that's not true. He even says it. He says, I never, or I should have married you, or something like that.
Right. They never got married. Yeah.
She's a concubine, and he actually has like 3 more. You only see them in one scene. Like he got 3 women with them.
But he holds her hand like when they land on the planet.
That's his favorite one, right?
Yeah.
And also that's his baby mama.
Right.
So
the other one's cute.
You can't really see their faces.
They're all covered. So like when they land, they're all covered in like these
on Arrakis. Yeah.
Right. Oh, those girls.
Yep. Yeah, because there was like 4 women in flowy orange like gowns or whatever or something. Those are all his
baddies on call.
Yeah, those are all his girls. But Lady Jessica is his main squeeze.
Right.
Yeah. And also baby mama.
Right.
So
does he love her or is she a witch? And
there's definitely they love each other. But the problem is that I think he's not allowed to marry her.
Yeah. And the Bene Gesserits, they're like, that's a problem because are you his girl or are you our girl, you know? I don't think she was even supposed to have a son with Paul.
No.
Yeah, because they want her to have a daughter with is it the Harkonnens?
Maybe.
Maybe? I can't remember who, but she was supposed to have a daughter with somebody else. But she had a son with Paul. But it's not the fact that she had a son with Leto isn't a deal because it's a son. But the issue is she started training him. She's how to use his powers.
In their ways, yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem. So the Bene Gesserit said, all right, you had a boy, whatever. We still going to get you over here to have a girl with, I think the Harkonnens or whoever they're supposed to, right? Because that's who they thought. Nasty. Yeah, that's who they thought. That's the bloodline that they thought would be more powerful, whatever. But then they find out that she'd been training Paul. So now old girl is here to be like, okay, let's see how strong he is by doing this test. I didn't write down the actual name, but what she does is, so Paul gets woken up in the middle of the night, like the doctor checks him out and it's like, all right, you're good to go. And you can tell Lady Jessica's super nervous. And then he goes in this room with this old lady in her little veil and everything, and she looking kind of crazy. And Paul, like, he already got woken up in the midnight, so he kind of cranky. And he already a little like, he a prince technically. So like, he's like, who the fuck? Right? But then she uses the voice on him, which is what we saw him trying to do in the beginning of the movie at breakfast. And when you use the voice, you command somebody to do something, and it makes them do it, whether they want to or not. So she uses the voice on him she's like, "Come here, boy," and he walks over, and then he's pissed off, and he's like, "How dare you use the voice on me? Don't you know who I am?" She's like, "I don't give a fuck." She pulls out this needle and was like, "I have a poison tip needle to your neck. Stick your hand in this box." And he's like, "What's in the box?" And she's like, "Pain." So he does it. And she says, when an animal is cornered or caught or whatever, it will chew its own foot off to get out. So what are you going to do? And you can tell that it was hurting him really bad, but then he went Zen mode and passed the test. So she was like, "All right, okay." So
it's important to note that it's very brief, and it was just his facial acting, his expressions, but it was a very split second where he showed that he was considering
he thought
killing
about
her.
it. Yeah.
and not getting stabbed by the needle, because he was like,
Mm-hmm.
"I know I'm faster than you, and I could probably kill you before you can get the words out."
Mm-hmm.
And they showed it, and it was in his eyes, where he was like, "I'll fucking kill you, old bitch."
Yep. He went through being pissed. He went through being mad that he was there. Then he was listening to her. Then he thought about killing her.
Yep.
And then he was like, "All right, let me do it." Then he was like, "Oh shit, this kind of hurts. Let me go Zen."
Yeah.
So it was he had 5 different emotions in a 15-second span. And I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. They also, when they end the test, or it was almost over, it's the very end of it when he's coming through, but she hasn't stopped the pain yet.
Yeah.
He looks at her again, and I picked up that in that scene later on. Wait, is it home? Let me think. When does it happen? Oh, okay. So in that scene comes back later on when the Freeman are talking about how he has the same tenacity as his dad.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, okay, all right, little Atreides, I got you." Got some big balls.
I'll even expand on that, because Leto mentions that his dad used to fight bulls
for fun.
And and then they show it maybe 2 or 3 times later on in the movie, a statue of a bullfighter, and then a bust of a bull on a wall. And it's those are the moments where it's one of those remember who you are moments.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They imply too that he's fighting the bulls and not just dodging them.
Yeah. I mean,
what kind of family is this?
In cartoons they don't show the whole thing; they just show them dodging the bulls.
Yeah.
But how it really is they kill the bull after that. They'll dodge it with their little
and stab it,
and then they stab it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
The bull dies in real life. Yeah.
And they eat it.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's not all the way bad. I mean, bad for the bull.
Yeah.
They get ribeye afterwards. Yeah, just don't be a bull.
So I like the Bene Gesserit part of this, because I like cyberpunk, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then I also love medieval fantasy, and that part being a little bit of magic, a little bit of supernatural, but in a space world,
yeah,
it's cool to me, because I mean, really, you could probably shoot people with lasers and take them out, but they still have so much control over everything because they're that ingrained in society and in the court.
Yep, and people, they know it. I'm maybe not the common man, but the folks in the court know.
Yep,
they know Lady Jessica a witch.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Oh yeah,
and we'll get to that later, but yeah. So that was pretty neat. I didn't know what the fuck was going on the first time I saw this movie. Even though I saw this after I saw the old one, so I knew that there was this aspect to it. But I was confused then. I was confused in the new movie. But the second time I watched it, I was like, this is actually pretty neat.
Yeah.
And the cool part about it is, did I write it down? Okay, after she leaves, because it's she's impressed by him, but also they have plans in play. So they have to she kind of has to figure something else out now. And when as she's leaving, she tells Paul, "Goodbye, young human. I hope you live." It's goofy. But yeah, so now we're at Atreides arriving on Arrakis, which we were just talking about when we see the other concubines. And there's locals pointing and shouting stuff. And I already forgot his damn name, but Bono from Fences, Bono's they're just displaying their leftover love for the Harkonnens. which is he's thinking that they're like angry. Oh, here's new bad guys. They're probably just as bad as the old bad guys, right? But
Mhm.
then Lady Jessica's is like, nah, what they're actually saying is they know that you the new Messiah. So pick your head.
What did they call it? Was it the Quizat Midrack or something?
Look, at this
Shadrach?
movie, I just gave up trying to learn. Once we started getting hit with back to back Arabic names, I was like, I'm a fuck it up, so I'm not even gonna try.
I knew when I saw it, I could when I heard it, I could say it, but now I forgot exactly how it sounds.
Yeah,
But yes,
like if
Messiah.
if I watch it again without subtitles, I'll know what they're talking about because of context. But
Right.
don't ask me to repeat it. So then because they like arrive at like the spaceport, which is very close but not inside the city. So then they fly into the city and into the stronghold, where they'll be living, right? And the first thing happens is Lady Jessica interviews, because that once again she's like top girl. She's doing it. You don't see any other concubines in the room, but you see her, and she's interviewing for a new housekeeper. And like she sends everybody else out except for one, which is funny. I think she plays the Queen of Bridgerton.
Which one?
Uh,
Oh wait, no, Bridgerton. I'm sorry.
Charlotte, yeah, I think.
Yeah.
I don't watch Bridgerton, but we got a
Me
friend
either.
who does, and she actually looks like the Queen, so that's why it like stuck with me. Anyway, so she leaves the one housekeeper, and she's like, "You have a weapon on you," and the whole time she's talking with her hands behind her back to her like guards, and I was like, "Hold up, wait a second, wait, be ready for violence." But hold on, wait, and she's like letting the Freeman lady talk, Fremen lady talk,
Fremen. Yeah.
Fremen.
and at first it was like, oh, she about to get stabbed, but then she was like, nah, I know that you're the mother of the new Messiah, and I'm just here to present you with this weapon, and it's one of their Chris blade. The Fremens have Chris blades, which
I did want to stop and point
go
out,
ahead.
like, I like the whole hand language they had going on, where
Yeah,
like she's able to signal to the guard without saying anything, just like a couple of quick like flashes of her fingers, and the guard's like, "All right, I'm ready."
yeah, she does, and then she
Mhm.
does it later on when shit
On the
gets real
ship.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, so like the Fremen got these daggers made out of the teeth from the sandworms. Am I right with that? Is that what the Chris blades are
Yes.
made out of?
Yes. It was the
Yeah.
blades made out of the teeth of the sandworm.
That's pretty dope. She was like, I'm presenting it to you as a present because like I know that you, just as the prophecy or whatever foretold, or maybe not. I don't think there is a prophecy. I think they just know because they live in the desert and the spice is in the desert, in the sand, in the air. They just be breathing in. That's why they have blue eyes. So they're always high, and because they're always high, they just be knowing shit because the whole damn race is omnipotent to an extent, right?
Seems like it.
Yeah, so they just knew that, all right, the Messiah is here, and that's the Messiah's mom, and here's a gift. And of course, she got hired. So
They do mention at some point though that the Bene Gesserit have already started planting seeds of
yeah, so
stuff.
Lady Jessica says it herself. She says that the Bene Gesserit were already spreading the word that the Messiah was coming.
Yeah.
But I think that's just what she's telling Paul to reassure herself.
Right.
Because we literally see the Bene Gesserits doing their own shit in a moment
That's
here.
true. Yeah.
I think she just thought of that to reassure Paul and to reassure herself because she don't quite believe in the spice shit either. Like, or
Yeah,
at
you
least
know that's right. She didn't believe in the
yeah.
spice stuff, but then also she's the one who wanted to make him the Quizak Meshach. So that was on her. Giving him extra powers and stuff.
I think she was on board with doing what the Bene Gesserit wants, and then she had a boy and was just like, "Well, it's my son now."
Gotta give him some powers.
Look, well, what you think? I'm just going to forget about him? No, I love my boy. I told you, like moms and their sons, they got that bond.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, so then we get a bit where Paul's like checking out his new room, his big ass room. And then, he got real good senses. He's a Jedi, right? So he was like, what the fuck is that? And he sees this bug like melt through the wall and then come at him and he catches it. Or no, he catches it and he's just looking at it. And then the housekeeper that just got hired comes in the room and distracts him and it almost catches her, but he saves her. But it's like a little drone bug. And he was like, huh. okay, he knew what it was, so that means that this type of drone is operated by someone and they have to be nearby. And so they end up finding a Harkonnen that's been chilling in the wall for 6 weeks. And his
Yeah.
whole purpose was to wait there for like the new folks and then to take them out, I guess. I don't know if it was specifically take out the son or just take somebody important out or what. And that's when we get the bit that we mentioned earlier with Bono, like, I'm sorry, here's my resignation, and the Duke is like, the fuck it is. Like, nah, find the rest of these spies, bro. So, like I just said, then we see the witch, the Bene Gesserit from before, the top chick. She's meeting with Baron Harkness now. And it's like, hold up, you playing both sides, bitch? So she says, look, because she's still doing the Emperor's bidding, or at least, or maybe her own bidding, since the Emperor, it's implied that the Emperor does her bidding. She's saying, look, dude, I don't give a fuck about Atreides. You can take out all of them, right? But don't hurt Jessica or the boy. And Baron is like, all right, I won't kill him. So she leaves, and then like his dude comes in and is like, so we're not gonna hurt the boy? And he's like, nah, we're not gonna kill him, but the planet's gonna kill him. Like, it's Arrakis. Like, all we don't have to kill him. Like, the sandworms or the sand or the heat or something's gonna kill him. We just gotta, like, let him go out in the desert. The desert's gonna do the job. So I'm not technically, breaking the bargain. So if it wasn't already established that he's the bad guy, we know he's the bad guy now, right? It's just a Scooby Doo.
I mean, it's so pasty.
Yeah.
Hey man, Powder was the good guy. Not all bad. Not all pale people are bad.
You're right.
Oh man.
He had lightning powers.
Yep.
Then we see Duncan arrives. He comes back. What he was doing was the Duke had him go to Arrakis 4 weeks earlier, and his job was to basically meet the locals and get them to understand that the new folks coming in aren't evil and we trying to be your friends, and maybe we could work up some sort of deal. Like, let me mine the spice and you guys don't kill us, and I'll try and find a way to hook you up. And Duncan pulls it off, or at least Duncan he doesn't get killed, and he brings a Fremen leader to the house to like talk. And the Fremen leader is played by, I didn't catch his name, but it's played by Javier Bardem, right? And it's so funny because they're like, sir, your highness, he won't give up his weapon. And then like Duncan was like, yo, it's chill, it's cool, just let him in. And he comes, just the way he walks in, like, y'all wasting my fucking time. And he just walks in and they're like, all right, stop right there. And he keeps walking.
Yeah. It was very Javier Bardem.
Okay. Yeah, he just strolls up and they're like, yeah, what the fuck? And they pull swords on him and he don't care. And Duncan's like, yo, chill. He's cool.
I think his name was Stilgar?
Stilgar, yeah. He gets up there, spits on the floor in front of the Duke, and then everybody's like, oh, hell no. Nah. And then once again, Duncan's like, yo, chill. That's a greeting. Like, that's a sign of respect that he wasted
water. That's
the moisture from his body as a sign of respect. So then Duncan spits, and then the Duke is like, oh, I see what's going on here. So he spits too. And if you look at the people on the sides,
everyone's like, ugh.
They're like, what the fuck?
You know what's crazy? And then I thought about this when I was watching it. The best welcoming gift to Stilgar would have been a bottle of water.
Yeah.
Why didn't they have water on hand?
Yeah, they brought some good Caladan water. Like, we saw all them waterfalls and shit on Caladan. Yeah,
right.
Bring a jug of water and been like, yo, we friends. Man, they would have lost their minds.
One bottle of water will go so far among those people.
Oh man, and that reminds me of the trees that guy was working on the outside.
Oh yeah.
And he was like, one of these trees takes like it
5 men.
It would 20. Was it?
It takes 5 men's worth of water per day, and there's 20 trees. So 100 men essentially. The moisture 100 men need keeping these trees alive. So Paul was like, well, let's just cut the trees down.
Yeah.
He was like, no, they're sacred. They're palm trees. Which, thinking about it now, I don't know the significance of it because he didn't really explain why they're sacred, right?
Yeah.
because
I don't know if that was like for the Harkonnens, because again, like they didn't bring them with them, so they were just there. So I wonder if it was just one of those things where again, when you have so much money, then you're just like nothing really matters. So yeah, I
I
can.
didn't think about it being a Harkonnen thing either.
Yeah,
It seemed like it was a Fremen thing, but I really don't. They didn't explain why the trees were sacred.
yeah,
It's still kind of cool though.
yeah.
So so that happens, and Javier Bardem is like, I forgot what he says because the Oscar Isaac is like, yo, whatever you want, we'll give it to you. Just
he was like, yeah, that's cool, but stay out my desert.
oh yeah,
Leave my cities alone.
leave us alone. And then he leaves.
Yeah, he just walks out. He was like,
but before he leaves, he looks at Paul and he's like, I've seen you before, and then dips.
Yep.
Which
it was funny.
Once again, like I said, they're all high on spice all the time, so they have like a little semblance of omnipotence. So most of these people have seen Paul in their visions, and it's just funny for him. Like a lot of them are just like real, like, oh my God, there's the Messiah, and then there's Javier Bardem, like, I've seen you before.
And it makes a lot of sense that they're high all the time because you can't go out in the daytime. It's too hot.
Yeah.
But it's natural for any kind of human thing to want to sleep at night and not the day. So they're all smoking up this spice or breathing it in or whatever so they can sleep during the day when the sun is out. And then they come out at night and run around. Makes perfect sense.
Yeah. Oh, man. So next we meet they describe her as she works for the Empire, an imperial ecologist.
Oh, the doctor?
Dr. Kynes, right? Mm-hmm. But when she shows up, she looks like Fremen.
Yep.
That's just because she's black.
And she's got blue eyes too. Because she's been there 20 years.
That's right, yeah.
She's been there 20 years.
She's been smoking too much. I'm telling you, look. Because I thought the same thing. I was like, oh, wait, she's Fremen, but she's Imperium educated. Nah, she's Imperium, and she fell in love with the
she went native.
Man.
Yeah, she went native.
Yeah.
So, like,
honestly, that would have been funnier.
They play with that a little bit because, like, two different people ask her, like, so... it's almost like they're like, yo, what ethnicity are you? So you Moroccan? What are you? They're
you
like,
got some of that melanin in you. Like what's your story?
Like, you're not white, but like, they were like, so are you Empire or are you Fremen? And she's like, I am. Like, she gives a vague answer, right? And she does that. That happens twice where she gives they ask and she gives a vague answer, like, what's up with her? Because
I'm here for the people.
Because they told her that there's an Empire person, and even Oscar Isaac was like, okay, we're gonna bring her with us when we go check out our shit. That way, it's like we have a hostage. Like, they joked about it, like her being their hostage, so that hopefully, I don't know, the Empire would see them. Like, I don't know, I can't remember exact context, but her being from the Empire meant like, okay, we'll bring her with us so it'll look good, right?
Mm-hmm.
But she shows up looking real native, and they're like, hold up.
This is our first time seeing the suits.
The still suits.
Yes.
And then she breaks it down to him and explains, like, it reuses the water, and it only wastes maybe like a thimble worth of water a day from your sweat. So that's why you need it. It keeps you cool, and it reuses the water, and then you could drink some water too if you wanted. Some sweat water.
It's all of your waste. All of your waste is accumulated, and you get to drink that later.
Yeah,
I think the name's interesting to me because I wonder if it was a play on distilling water.
Oh, distill water. Oh, okay,
because it's cleaning the water for you and then makes it drinkable again.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, man. I was like, oh, that's kind of clever.
You want that spice?
The fourth dimension.
Transcending space-time with that answer. You living in 3008.
Yep.
We so 2000 late. Okay. So she explains the suits, and then the Duke wants to see the harvesters and like the whole operation basically, right? And he wants to see it firsthand. And also, way back in the beginning, not way back in the beginning, but 30 minutes earlier, you hear him say that he didn't want to be a leader either. He wanted to be a pilot.
Mhm.
So when he wanted to go check out the harvester and stuff, he was like, "Oh shit, I'm driving the boat." Or I'm driving the dragon copter, right? So he was actually piloting the plane that they were in. That's like modeled after a dragonfly, which is kind of neat. I couldn't remember if that was in the original or not. Don't matter. So they're out there, they're looking at the harvester, and the doctor's explaining these giant balloon vehicles come attached to the harvester, float it off into the desert, drops it off, and then they harvest what they can until the sandworms come. And then when they spot, because each time a harvester's out there, they have these spotter planes that fly around looking for sandworms. Because when the sandworms come close to the surface, you see the movement, the like the mound moving. So
We gotta talk about that real quick
go.
because I that was a big thing for me.
Mhm.
The scaling of things
Mhm.
in this movie is crazy. So the crawlers, the little harvesters,
Those are
are
huge.
not little.
They're not little.
It's
It's like
like
the
the
size
Great
of
Pyramid of Giza
it's
in
the
size.
size of a football
Means
field looking.
yeah, like
Yeah,
easily a football field in length, maybe more. And then the thing that picks it up with the balloons,
it's
those
even bigger.
balloons are so big. I mean, you're
Mhm.
talking like Empire State Building of balloons to be able to lift this football field sized harvester.
And then they inflate like almost instantly.
Yep.
But then, like you were saying, you're getting to the worm, but then you get to the
And the
worm.
worm can swallow a harvester.
Yep.
Whole. Didn't even chew his food.
So they're just fucking giant.
The worm is easily like, how would you scale that? Like maybe
I don't
like
even know.
mountain level size, like so
It
big it opens its
definitely
mouth
looks
and
like that's like when it's under the sand but near the surface, it looks like a mountain is coming towards you.
yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Because
Insane, man.
that this so well we're at it right now pretty much. So she's explained the operation, and then the Duke with his own eyes spots a sandworm coming. You see the mountain off in the distance heading their way. And so she reports it to the spotters. The spotters like verify it for whatever reason, and then they call it in, and they're like, okay, well, what happens now? There's a sandworm coming, and the harvester's out there mining the spice, which just sits on top of the sand, so it just like sucks up the sand, gets the spice, spits the sand back out. So they're like, okay, now we're calling in one of the balloon things to come pick up the harvester, and it just picks it up and floats it off. But they're going to keep mining the sand until the last second before the harvester pulls off. I mean, before the balloons pull them off, right? So it takes about 5 minutes for the balloon to get there. Whole time they're watching the worm. Balloon gets there, they're like, all right, cool. But one of the connectors malfunctions, and it's kind of implied that like the Harkonnens fucked with their shit, right? So it couldn't connect all the way, so it couldn't pull the harvester. So that means the sandworm was about to eat this fucking harvester and the people in it. There's 12 people on board.
21.
21.
Mm-hmm.
You're right, 21. Because they had 3 dragonfly copters.
Yep.
So they're like, how many can we fit in here? We could do.
Seven.
They're like, we only have room for 6, but they're like, fuck it, we're going to squeeze everybody in. So get 7 on all the planes. Did you catch that?
Oh yeah, they did it by getting rid of their own shields.
Yes, right. Because Paul was like, the shields weigh this amount, so chuck out the shields and we could squeeze another person in. So like in this moment, you see like they're good leaders. They care about their people, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the dragonflies land. Paul goes out to help usher the guys on board, and like that's when the wind blows and some spice gets in his face, and he gets his first little contact high, right? And he starts having like the vision, and he's real confused, and he sees Zendaya, and he's like, "Who's this biracial girl? She's kind of pretty."
Suddenly it was 1977 in Studio 54.
You see the past and the future at the same time. He's real confused, and at the same time, he can feel that Josh Brolin is coming to pick him up, and he's like, "I recognize your footsteps, old man." As he gets pulled up, but as this is happening, the sandworm is now super close, and this. I really hope we get into like a big screen when we go see part 2 on Tuesday. I mean on Sunday. I don't know what the fuck time it is on Sunday, because imagine seeing this shit in IMAX. Right,
Yeah.
This is the only time where I was like, I am sorry I saw this at home, because
Yeah.
this shit, the worm is so huge. He's not actually there yet, but it's so big and so powerful that the sand is already starting to shake under them.
Yeah.
And it looks insane. So, and they're trying to run through this to get back to the plane as like the sand is shaking on them. So they're starting to sink in, but they still make it back to the plane, and it takes off just in time. And all you see is the ground start to collapse, and that big ass harvester, and then these teeth come up around the harvester, and the sandworm, like just his face or just his mouth. I mean, it's just mostly mouth. Like becomes the ground, and like that shit is so cool. And then to see that in IMAX would have I would have pissed myself.
Yeah, because I mean I still can't get over the size of it.
Yeah,
The sand displacement from it just being nearby.
Yeah, just
turned it into quicksand. That was insane.
Everything starts to shake. Oh, that's so cool. So yeah, so they escape. But still, just that whole sequence was nuts. And then after back in the house, the stronghold or whatever you call that, in the city, the doctor, there's two doctors. There's Dr. Kynes, who's the like Fremen ecologist or whatever. And then there's Dr. Ewan, who's like the family doctor, right? And Dr. Ewan is he checks Paul out and he's like, he seems fine. And Paul was like, I was just a bit confused, and he was trying to explain his vision to his mom, and he's like, you're pregnant.
Yep.
Bruh.
You can't know that.
You can't know that. I barely know that. What you mean you barely know that? What does Nick say? So then we see on another planet, the Harkonnens are enlisting the help from, I didn't get their names. Did y'all get the names of this faction? But there's a third faction now that the Harkonnens are getting assistance from, and they're like the sword of the Emperor. So like they're clearly like a war faction, and they're supposed to be super badass. And they're like, why do you need our help? And they're like, because we've going up against the House of Atreides. They got Duncan, Idaho. It's like
nobody fucks with Duncan, Idaho.
They're all trained by Duncan, Idaho, and Gurney, whatever the fuck.
Gurney Halleck.
It's so
all right.
funny.
This scene opens up though. Like, are there people hanging upside down and being bled out?
Yes.
Okay.
It's real quick, and I was like, wait, did I just see that? And then it pans out, and this is it's also the throat singing scene. Yeah.
Yep.
That's why I said it was still the cell, man.
Yeah.
It was weird. Like, just too much going on.
And and like the dude was like, okay, so you need our help, and you're getting 3 battalions to come with you because you fucking with the Atreides. All right, I can understand. They got Duncan, Idaho, and Gurney Halleck.
I have a theory. That scene made me think that, and I guess only the author could ever say if I'm right or not, but I have a feeling that the Harkonnens, before the money, were just in charge because they were like kind of barbaric.
Right.
And then getting super filthy rich, they were able to spend money how they wanted, and that's why they still look barbaric and kind of weird.
Dumb shit.
Yeah, a lot of dumb shit, like making a pyramid to bleed people out. Like, why? Why are you doing that?
This isn't Harkonnens. This is the third group. This is the...
Oh, that was their stuff.
Yeah, that was their shit. Yeah, they were on another planet.
So they're weird ass too.
Yeah. So they sent like the...
That's right. Yep.
What's the dude? Yeah. It was almost like the scene from Star Wars when they were like checking out the clones before they...
Yeah. So that's just like 2 weird people getting together. 2 weird groups.
Yeah. And like I think like the Harkonnens, like their I don't know what the Atreides does, but Harkonnens, they were put in charge of the spice. This group, who I can't remember the names of, they're like the war faction, like for the Emperor. It's gonna bug me. Let me look real quick.
The Harkonnens are just the weird bondage people.
Yeah, Wikipedia doesn't say the name of that group unless I'm missing it. But it starts with like a S.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That's a weird word.
Yeah. So whatever. We just gonna call them the war guys, the war dogs. Yeah. Anyway, so we see that the Barons are basically. We already knew that they were about to do some shit, and now we see they're like, okay, they're preparing to attack, and they got dudes with them, more dudes, not just their own dudes, but also they enlisted even more dudes. So it's about to be a slaughter.
Sarah Dakar. Is that them?
I think that's right.
Yeah. It's something like that.
Yeah.
because he
Infamous
yells it out later.
fanatical shock troops of House Corino. Man, these
Yeah,
names.
yeah, it's hard. But so yeah, so that night the Duke wakes up and he finds his housekeeper stabbed, right? And then he gets hit with the dart and goes unconscious as the city is descended on by the Harkonnens and the what you call them, Sardinians? What are their names?
The Sark, something. Shit.
The other dudes that they got for help. And like Gurney wakes up or he gets woken up and told that the shield is fallen and he's like, all right, everybody get up. It's time. Because he knew his shit was coming.
Yeah.
Then the war starts, right? And that shit is dope. Like seeing the forces go up the stairs and like they're fighting on the stairs, and then you see like niggas like just floating down from the sky. Whole time, like half of the Atreides folks don't even got like their armor on. Like there's some folks in armor, but not everybody. Like when you see Duncan pop up, Duncan is I don't know. He wasn't in his pajamas, but he wasn't in armor either. Like
He was wearing a Henley.
nigga was dressed like a pirate.
Yeah, he had a Henley on, a little 3-button at the top, no collar.
Still fucking niggas up. So
Yeah.
I understand why they had to get help.
Yeah. Even with the Duke, special shout out to that dart. Because remember, that little force field they make with that wristband
Yeah,
stops fast attacks. With that dart, if it's steady and slow, it can get through.
yeah.
That's what the dart did. It just sat
It
there on
slowed-
top of the force
yeah,
field.
this force field slowed it down enough that it kind of eventually got through anyway.
Yep.
So, which is wild when you think about it, because so that means any sort of projectile, if it has enough inertia, it'll get through.
It would have to be self-propelled.
Yeah,
Like a bullet, for instance, wouldn't work.
yeah, because it would stop. It'll cut the
Yeah.
inertia.
So, that's another good something I kind of just realized. Were there any guns in this movie, or is everything just hand-to-hand combat?
Their guns,
The guns
later.
yeah, later. But
Okay.
I feel like in like the storm into the castle scene,
Mm-hmm.
you see some, but like it's more hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah,
And I
it's
want to
like
say
more
because
stabbing.
the shields stop the guns, so the
Mhm.
guns are like bigger. So like the guns, they were using guns on like vehicles. Because like you see when Duncan gets in his Dragonfly shit, like they're firing
right.
missiles at him. Yeah, but
Yep.
like hand-to-hand, it has to be hand-to-hand combat because of the shields. I think.
Yeah. When you see Rick mention Duncan, the reason why I brought the dart up is because the Duke had the dart to his back
Yeah.
with no weapons to
So
knock
he,
it off.
yeah, because he couldn't do anything, but he knew it was back there. Like I guess he could feel it.
Yeah, he knew what was
Yeah.
attacking him. But then Duncan, his was at the front, and he
Yeah.
had his sword, so he was able to deflect it,
Yeah,
which I thought was pretty cool. I was like,
Good
God,
catch.
damn, they just took the Duke out with that. Oh, no, oh shit, Duncan.
Oh,
Then he smacked it away.
Duncan down. So yeah, so the dart that got Duke was from the house doctor, Dr. Ewan, which is sad. But then he explains, like, look, when the Duke kind of comes to, right, the doc explains that the Harkonnens took his wife and forced him to betray Atreides. They didn't just take his wife. I think they were torturing his wife. So it
Mm.
wasn't even like a betray Atreides, I'm going to give you your wife back. It was betray Atreides and I'm just going to stop torturing your wife.
Yep.
That's horrible shit. Anyway, but he at least promises that he's going to do what he can for Paul, right? Also, he replaces one of the Duke's teeth with a fake tooth that if he breaks it, poisonous gas is going to come out and it should take care of everybody like nearby.
In the room.
In the room. Yeah.
I was like, hey, yo.
Yeah. So, but he's still like not fully conscious, so it can't really respond. So, like you can tell in his eyes that like he's upset, but also he's listening to the instructions.
Yeah.
But the hopes is, or at least for the doctor, is that the Baron is going to take Atreides since he's high value target, and if he gets close enough to the Baron, then he could kill him.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think in the back of his mind, the doctor knew that like he's not getting his wife back, so he's like, I need to take this Baron out.
Yep.
So we see Duncan like getting busy, and he takes the. I guess he realizes that the city is fallen, and he gets in the dragon copter and he dips, but like not like running away, but more like I need to get to the Fremen to see if they would help us, kind of deal, right?
Yeah.
Also, it was a really cool shot as he was flying out with like some big ship up above, just like firebombing the shit out of the city. Like that was really dope.
And chasing him with a laser.
And they were trying to take him out too, because he actually got hit a few times, but I guess the thing had a shield too.
Yep.
So he was still moving.
Same shields they had thrown out when they saved the guys with the
Yeah,
crawler.
you're right. But then we see that Lady Jessica and Paul get taken by some Harkonnens, right? I've said Harkonnens enough that I'm actually saying it right now. By some Harkonnens, and like they have Jessica gagged because they know that she be on witch talk. But after a few times and catching a couple of duffs, Paul manages to finally use the voice well enough to get one of the guys to ungag his mom, and then she uses her voice to get them to all kill each other. But like they had damaged the ship, or somehow they compromised the ship so that it couldn't really be flown, so it like went down. And now they're out in the desert, and like they look over a sand dune and they see that the city is on fire and it's a wrap, right? But they find stuff that the doctor left for them in the ship. Am I right?
I think it was him.
Yeah, he definitely, because he had like a note and
Oh,
everything.
there was a note. Yeah, there was a note.
I can't remember if he had that in the ship or somehow they found it. And like,
Yeah.
and it was also like the sand mover thing and like a tent or something like that.
Yep.
Because they were like in
the sand.
In the sand, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that makes
The
sense.
sand
Like
compactor.
they just kind of had something that just made a bubble for them so they can kind of survive the heat.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it also had a beacon. That's the important part. It had a beacon, an Atreides
Yeah.
beacon. So then we see the Duke naked and slumped in the Baron's big ass dinner table. Actually, I'm not sure if it was the Baron's table, because at first I thought they took him off.
It looked like a bath. Wasn't he like?
No, we're not at that part yet. This is
okay.
It's a dinner table because he's at one end, the Duke's at one end, and the Baron's at the other, just like eating.
I think it was the Atreides table.
I think it's the Atreides table because that's what it was. Because I thought at first that they went to the Baron planet, but really the Baron just came down to him.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's the Atreides table, and he's naked and he's slumped there, and the Baron is just eating all their food. They took all the food out the fridge and put it on the table, and the Baron's just it was super gross. But that's why they went for sound design, right? And then they bring in Dr. Yu. I keep saying Ewan, it's Yue. Dr. Yue, and the Baron is like, "Oh yeah, what'd you want again?" And he called him a traitor. And the doc is like, "For you to release my wife from her agony." And the Baron floats over because he don't walk nowhere. He floats across the table, and then he just slits the doctor's throat.
Yep.
And it's just like, all right, well, now you can go be with your wife. Some bad guy shit. Then the Duke starts mumbling something, and the Baron puts his shield on because he don't trust him. But he puts his shield on and he leans in to try to understand what he's trying to say, right? And like the Duke says some gangster shit, like he's like, "Here I remain," or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then he breaks that tooth and blows that Wuha Winterfresh in his face. and it's funny, like the Baron's dude like immediately realizes what's happening, and then you just see everybody just like fall over.
Run for the yep.
Yeah. And the Baron like kind of keels over, and you think he's dead too. But later on, some dudes come in some like fetish hazmat suits to clean the area up. And then they look up and they see the Baron clinging up to life on the ceiling, because even in the face of death, the floor is lava.
Yep.
So Duncan escaped to go beg to Fremen for help, and I'm a little fuzzy on what happened here, because at this point my son was like jumping around me, and like he was watching like the war scene, and whenever he watches something on TV that's like super hype, he gets hype and he starts like acting it out. So he had his like toy lightsaber out and was pretending he was Duncan Idaho and making a bunch of noises. So
That's awesome.
Duncan Idaho.
So I was kind of fuzzy on what he said to Dr. Kynes and what she said back, because it seemed like she wasn't trying to help, but then she does something like that. I don't know.
Oh yeah. He called her out for not wanting to help.
Or maybe she was like, I can't bring them into their city or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, it was. I can't remember word for word.
Yeah, forgive me for that. I'm a little fuzzy, but then Duncan goes and he picks up Jessica and Paul because of that beacon. And while they were in there, Paul had said there's sand in the tent or whatever. So he got another
Spice.
There's spice in the tent. So then he got another vision of Zendaya, and this is the scene that they played in the trailer a lot. So a lot of people, I could see why a lot of people kind of felt some type of way when it was like half a movie, because you see Paul like fighting in some gold armor or something, and like he opens his helmet and you see that it's him, but it doesn't actually happen. It's just in the vision.
Mm-hmm.
So I can see some people were mad pissed about that, but I wasn't. I don't care. So that's when he has that vision. But then the next morning, Duncan comes pick him up, and like he brings them to the Dr. Kynes, and they go into some underground spot or something.
Yeah.
Once again, I'm a little fuzzy of what's happening because my son's bouncing around. But they're under there, and like you see like a plant or something, and it's like, oh, we're in some cool Fremen stuff. And then they realize, or Duncan realizes that there's bad guys that follow them, or they showing up, right? So he runs to the door, opens it, he says goodbye to Paul, and Paul freaks out like, Duncan, no, like let me help you some or whatever. And then Duncan locks the door behind him, and he gets busy. And then at first it's like 6 dudes. And
they get washed.
They get washed. And then more dudes come in. And there's even like some big ass gun. And Duncan gets them down to like 3 people. And he gets a sword through him. And no, he gets him down. There's like 6 left. He gets a sword through him. And then he falls over and it's, oh shit, rest in peace, Duncan. And then they start to cut through the door with that big ass gun. I don't know if it was a laser or something.
I think it was like water or something. It was
like a water pick.
Right. It just went through everything.
Yeah.
Because it was a big old blast door.
Yeah. But it was a super, super fine, like little beam that was, yeah. But then Duncan gets back up, pulls the sword out of himself. And with the sword that he was impaled on, kills 3 more people.
Yep. He's like, I thought I was dead. Nope.
Yeah, and you know what's wild? He gets back up quietly. He's just like, ugh. All right, who's next?
And then he died for real this time.
Then he died for real. But still, the fact that he got back up and
pulled the sword out with nobody noticing
to kill more people. Man, look.
They were a little too confident in themselves.
It's funny because like there was like a main there, you couldn't really tell because they all had on helmets, but there was like one dude that was kind of the main guy, and like he was upset.
Like it was the guy with the tattoo on his eyebrow. He was yeah
because when they killed him for real, he was like still looking at him like don't get back up. So but he bought them enough time to escape, right? This is the other part that confuses me. I still don't know exactly what they said, but I guess the plan was Paul and Jessica are going to get into the Dragonfly copter, and she's like, fly into the sandstorm, you'll have cover, which seems like bad advice, but whatever. And she's like, and they're like, what about you? And she's like, I'm Fremen, I'll find my way. So, see, remember what I said earlier was like she kept giving vague answers, and this time she gave the straight up answer like, nah, I'm with them. Fuck the Empire. So they fly off, and she runs off, and she pulls out I'm gonna call it the thumper.
Yeah.
Right. Yep. I don't know if that's the official term, but yeah.
She was calling her own ride. She was calling a sandworm.
Yeah, she was gonna call a sandworm. So at this point, like if you don't know, the real Wild Boys, they ride the sandworms, right? We haven't seen that in the movie yet. But the sandworms are attracted to rhythmic noises. So like that's why you can't walk normal, because walking normal is a rhythmic noise. And the sandworms are gonna come. And like the sandworms always come after the harvesters because they make rhythmic noises as they harvest the sand. So by putting the thumper down, she's calling the sandworm. And you see one off in the distance, the mountain of sand coming. Then she gets fatally wounded because the 3 dudes catch up to her. And with her last bit of energy, she talks a little bit of shit and she pounds the sand. And then you see the ground start to shake. And they're like, oh shit, what's happening? And she's like, got him. And the sandworm eats all of them. So that was
I'm kind of with you though, because like, why didn't she just leave with them?
Yeah, where was she going?
She said it was a 2-seater only.
It was a 2-seater. It was the baby Dragonfly copter.
Yeah, which I thought was weird because why is it a 2-seater?
Wait, but it can't. Isn't it the same Dragonfly copter they showed up in?
No, that one got locked out. That one got locked out.
Okay. So it's different. All right. So this was.
I need to know the.
This was the Prius C.
I didn't know what the Arrakis like health and life insurance is like if people are riding sandworms because you're going underground.
I mean, for a while,
they ride it above ground though.
Yeah, it's so That's
Oh, like sand surf?
they're like they're like the Native Americans. They know how to use the land. They know how to work with the animals. Like like this is their home turf. So
Mm.
they've been messing with sandworms. Again, that's why they've got the Fremen walk. Like that's why they
It
came up
said,
with that.
yeah, it like replicates the natural sounds of the desert.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah. So, and she doesn't say I'm calling a sandworm. She just like
No.
winks
She's
at
just
him. She's like, the desert is my vehicle, or some shit like that, right?
yeah.
You just imagine like the training for that. Even like it's your people, right? But imagine when you're 16, you're 15, you get your sandworm permit, and your dad's like, "All right, buddy. So when the sandworm gets here, throw this grappling hook
Yeah.
and just keep your knees loose
It,
because you got to surf on the
that's
sand."
a million times worse than like birds just pushing the birds out the nest and hope they fly.
Right?
If you fuck up, you
You're
get
like, why
eaten.
am I calling this sandworm to me?
Oh my god.
And how many thumpers do they produce? Because you lose a thumper every time you call a sandworm.
You're right. You can't pick it back up.
You can't pick it back up. It's gone every time.
Duncan
Maybe it's emergency
did
transport
imply
only.
that like they come up with some cool shit. So
Yeah.
they probably got other cool shit. But yeah, so back to Paul and Mom in the plane, right? And they catch some enemy ships catch up to them, and they fire missiles, and they take Homegirl's advice, and they fly straight into the sandstorm. And remember, in the beginning of the movie, they said that the little National Geographic shit said that the sandstorms are so powerful that the wind is blowing the sand so hard that it'll cut through metal.
Yep.
So the missiles get taken out pretty fast, and then you start to see that the plane is falling apart, and it was just like, oh shit.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
It lasted for longer than I thought it would, too.
Way
It actually,
longer.
yeah, it's more so it shuts down, but it still floats
Yeah,
just long
he's
enough.
like gliding. In
Yeah.
fact, they glide. It's so funny. I mean, we'll get back because it cuts away and then cuts back. But like when they glide out of the sandstorm, he's like, now we just got to glide and make it to the ground. And then like a wing falls off.
Yep. Whoops.
Oops. I wouldn't have said shit. But yeah, so then we see Batista pop up explaining that Paul and his mom's gotta be dead because they chased him into a sandstorm and nobody can survive that. And it looks like he's just talking to a pool of oil or whatever. What I say, Vegemite?
Yep, Vegemite.
And then his nasty ass Uncle Uncle Baron Vladimir, he emerges from the goop and he's like, I bet. Let's get the spice flowing again and kill whatever Fremen you see hanging around. And then we cut back to Paul and Jessica. That's when they make it out the sandstorm and crash and wander the desert for 40 minutes. So I was like, in my head at this point, I was like, I know the movie's almost over. And then I look and I still had 30 more minutes. And I was like, what the fuck happens?
Uh-huh.
I can't remember what else happens. So they wandered the desert for a while. And then like at some point, they're like, oh shit, a sandworm's coming.
Yep.
But they make it just in time to like the rocks, and the sandworm just looks at them. And then they go away. And they were like, oh, somebody must have turned on the thumper. And then they turn around and they realize that they're surrounded by the Fremen warriors, led by Javier Bardem, dude we saw earlier with the spitting.
See, I know that the thumper is the logical explanation.
Yeah.
But I think that the worm, they made a point of showing the worm like look at him
Look
even
at
though
him.
he doesn't have any eyes.
Yeah.
But they like looked at him and it was like, oh, you're the Kwisak Shedrak Meshach. And they're like staring at him for a second like, what's up, bro, Messiah? And then it turned around and left.
That
like
nigga. And he was like,
yeah, like it was like the way it did it. It was like it took its time.
Yeah,
It
'cause
wasn't like an animal.
you don't hear a thumper or anything. He just assumes. It's like, oh, somebody must have turned on a thumper.
Yep.
But yeah, because it was like breathing on him. It was like, okay.
Yeah. It didn't do it in an animal way where like an animal heard the sound and it immediately turned around. It stopped,
Thought.
like registered who he was, had a little stare off, like, all right, bro, you gonna do this? You gonna save our planet? And then it left.
Yeah, which was neat. Also, like that, I think that was like a baby worm too, because that wasn't as big
it was
as
small.
the one that ate the harvester.
That one was small, as in it was only a skyscraper with.
It was just that.
Yeah.
So then what you say Javier Bardem's name was? Stilgar?
Stilgar.
Yeah. So he's like, hey, so the boy, he kind of cool and he's young enough that we could teach him our ways. But that old lady though, She too old. We can't do nothing with her. Well, I don't know why this dude is such an asshole. He's like, we can't do nothing with her. And then she beats him up. He's like, all right, she can join us too.
Which I guess they hadn't really said it until then. I guess the Bene Gesserit are also assassins.
Or at least Jessica is. Because
Right?
Jessica had,
How she started a fight like this?
I guess she was getting lessons from Duncan too.
Well, see, I peeped that. So here's the thing.
Mhm.
Duncan, who is considered the best in the Empire, the best in the Imperium, he says that the Fremen that he fought like
devil.
demons,
Yeah.
and he barely made it.
Yeah.
Which means that they couldn't have been as good as Stilgar because he's the leader, and the leader has to be someone who's the strongest,
Yeah.
according to his own people.
And then
But then
Jessica
Jessica beats his tail.
Yeah.
So I'm like, who trained her?
Unless he let her win, and that was like him flirting. Was like,
Had to be because she don't fight the whole movie.
No, I think she's able to fight. I think
no,
she can defend herself.
We agree. We're just
Yeah.
But it's just funny because he was like, because just his energy as soon as he saw her, it's like, nah, she too old. She can't come with us. Oh, you want to fight? Okay. Oh, yo, you're pretty good at fighting. Oh, okay.
He was like, oh, actually. I was like, damn, bro. That was wild, though. I don't know if they're going to ever touch on that, but I would love to know
how
her training background, because what in the world? Like,
I'm gonna. The safe bet is that Gurney and Duncan gave her some training too. But it would be neat if you find out, yeah, she's also the Bene Gesserits also be assassinating people and shit.
Yeah,
I feel like they do.
I can see it.
And like they actually hint at it earlier when the housekeeper interview, when she's like, you have a weapon, I want you to know that whatever you're about to do, it's not going to be enough.
No. Actually, it goes back to the Duke when he was like, tell me you're going to protect my son. Like, and I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the Bene Gesserit. Bene
Gesserit, yeah.
You know what? It goes back to the old lady.
Mm-hmm.
Why was a witch with powers need a poison dart? She just has that because they also are assassins, and she's like,
oh shit,
because she wouldn't need, like, she obviously is like the pope of that.
The test, but also those poison darts could be used.
Yeah, because she's the pope of that fantasy world. She's the mother. She's the Reverend Mother. Yeah. She's literally a pope type person. If she wanted to call for his death, I think she outranks the Duke anyway. So she wouldn't even have to like kill him on her own. She could just get him captured.
Yeah.
So she's like, nah, little boy, I can actually fuck you up because I'm also an assassin. I'm not just a soothsayer witch lady. Damn, I didn't even catch that at first. But yeah, so they probably did train Jessica to be a badass.
That's pretty cool.
That's wild.
Yeah. So you think everything's good to go, but then another Fremen named Jamis is like, look, I'm trying to fight too, and they beat you, but they ain't beat me. So I'm trying to challenge Paul. And like apparently they duel to the death, and Paul is like, all right, bet. Or maybe he wanted to challenge Jessica, or her champion, and Paul was like, I'll be her champion to fight you.
So he wanted to fight Jessica, and Stilgar says a special word. He's like, you don't fight a Sadunya?
Yeah.
It makes me think they know that she's also Bene Gesserit. And he's like, you're not going to beat her.
Yeah, because he described her as, he didn't say Bene Gesserit, but he said you have weird ways or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he says like Sadunya, some kind of S word with a ya at the end. He said it in a way it was like he knew, like we knew that he knew that she had some special stuff going on, and Jamie wasn't going to beat, or Jamis wasn't going to beat her.
Yeah, and he was like, look, we don't need to do this now. The sun's about to come up. Let's go. He's like, nah, I want to fight.
He was trying to say that, man. He was trying to save his life. He was
trying to save him. And Paul was trying to save him too. And like Paul was like, yield, because he immediately got the knife to his throat. Yield. And then Javier Bardem was like, yo, was he fucking with us? Like, why won't he kill this man? And Jessica's like, he's never killed a man before. And Javier Bardem was like, that's not our way. He asked for this duel. It's to the death. And eventually, like, the voice in Paul's head was like, yo, do it. Stabbed him in the back.
Did you catch how when she said he's never killed a man, that she has killed a man?
Yeah. The way she said it was like, he's never killed him.
She said, in fact, it's a good thing he didn't fight me.
Look, I would have took his ass out in one swoop.
I was like, who is this lady? I want to
Like,
know so much about her.
cause so like so Paul kills Jamis and it's like, all right, now, and Javier Bardem's like, okay, cool, now you're one of us, as if that wasn't his friend or something, right?
Right?
And like Rebecca Ferguson, Jessica's like, nah, we need to go. Like, I know you got some smuggler or some shit somewhere. We need to get Paul off this planet. And he's like, nah, y'all with us now. And Paul agrees. He's like, no, I want to, like, my dad wanted us to be friends with the Fremen, and I'm going to do that. So now Jessica's like, no, I'm stuck on this fucking desert planet. And they walk off into the sunset, aka Dune Part 2. That's the movie.
I wonder, right?
Mhm.
Because the first one, as far as I remember, and I hate to I'm not trying to make this about like a race thing, but
Mhm.
first one, as far as I remember, all white cast, right? The
Yeah.
70s one.
Yeah.
I wonder if the casting this time around was intentional in that way, where everyone that wanted to be cool with the Fremen just happened to also be a person of color in real life. Like all the actors, like Oscar Isaac, Jason Momoa.
Oh, that's funny.
I mean, Little Timothy is, I think, just white, right? But
Yeah.
but his dad, technically in the movie, if you go by his dad's looks,
Yeah, he
he's something else.
yeah. That's why his hair was like that.
Right. Dr. Kynes, and even James Earl Jones' doppelganger.
He's
They're all cool with the Fremen,
Bond.
and they're the people of color. But then Jessica, she's not against them, but she's like, we gotta leave. We're not staying here. And then her son's like, nah, I'm cool. Mom, I want to stay in the hood.
That's the Guatemala in him.
Yeah. I really wonder if that was on purpose, because it just seemed kind of too convenient.
I don't think it was on purpose, but I think the way they set it up, it ended up being that way. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna make the Fremen brown, and
everybody's down
Oscar Isaac is yeah, and it just happened to work out that way.
That was crazy. And I was like, this can't be. No, they wouldn't do this.
Well, I mean, like the Fremen people were all ethnic.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
That's why it felt like they just like saw themselves in the Fremen, and they were like, maybe we should all be friends.
I like how it happened 2 or 3 times in the movie. Timothy was like, he was like, they're being oppressed. And it's like, yeah, go you little white ally. Like,
yeah, right.
That's why the Fremen at the end was just like, you know what, white boy, you all right.
Actually, my father.
Another thing I wanted to point out was that like he had a vision where he died by the hands of the Fremen, and I guess like because he saw his death, he was able to avoid it.
I was wondering if it's that, or if it's he's seeing possible futures, like multiple.
So I have a third one for you.
What's that?
I thought what you guys just said, but then after it happened, my theory changed to his premonition of him dying, and then the voice telling him that he had to die to become the Kwisatz Haderach. That him, they didn't mean physical death; they meant dying as in killing his old self to be reborn.
He had to kill
because he never killed a man. Huh?
He had to kill off his ego.
Yeah, literally an ego death. And because he never killed a man, he lost his innocence. And that was him being reborn or becoming a man.
Could be.
Because it just seemed like he saw it, and so far everything he's seen, it happened.
Mm-hmm.
So he avoids his own death, because even in the death scene, he grappled with Jamis.
Well, it's also weird though, because he had another vision where that guy was training him in like the Fremen ways.
Yeah, actually, I was shocked when Jamis was about it, because I thought Jamis was going to be like
he did. Yeah, he did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So,
but see, then that's another thing too. And I don't know if this is getting too artsy fartsy. He still trained him in the Fremen ways by forcing him to fight to the death.
I mean,
because he didn't know their ways, and now he knows their ways.
It makes sense. Yeah.
I wonder how loose they're trying to keep that, where you could make that the actual thing that happened.
Real quick, I thought like for like a split second, I was like, is Jamis Zendaya daddy? And like he saw them look at each other and was like, I don't like this.
Hey, no one look at my daughter like that. We're gonna fight to the death.
I was wondering what his thing was. I was like, why are you so angry? Like,
but look,
let
me ask y'all some questions. What's your favorite aspect of the film? And by aspect, I mean like I still ain't found a way to properly describe this.
visuals, I'm
I,
gonna say for me.
yeah, there you go. Yeah,
Yeah, like I loved the costume design. I mean, I thought the armor that the Harkonnens wore was pretty sick.
yeah.
Mhm.
I love. It's actually kind of funny. I was looking at the what are the suits called again?
Still,
The
Still suits.
still suits. Yeah, it's actually very close to like the '80s still suits.
yeah, yeah. You're right. It does look a lot like the ones from the old movie.
Hmm.
But still good design. Could use yeah, visuals for me again, and it's kind of funny because the last one I was on was the creator, and like that was the thing for me for the creator too. So I guess I just like this. What was his name again?
Oh, the
Uh,
cinematographer.
yeah,
I forgot his name. It's
Oh, I had to pull them down.
I'm
Greg
looking.
Greg Fraser.
Greg Fraser, yeah, yeah, like his visuals, man, they're just amazing.
Yeah. Mauricio.
I really like the way they showed the mysticism in it.
Yeah.
And I like here I go again with the race stuff, but I really liked how they included all these different ethnic groups without forcing it because it's sci-fi and it doesn't actually fucking matter
Right.
what people are.
Yeah.
So they just put them in the movie.
Yeah.
Like I thought that was great. Like we don't need to explain why James Earl Jones is a light-skinned black man.
You keep calling.
Or, I can't remember that man's name. It's
James
his
Earl
little
Jones
brother.
is retired.
That's his little brother for sure, or cousin or something. Or why their Fremen are all different backgrounds. Like it doesn't matter because they're in space on a fake planet.
Yeah.
None of it actually matters. So I'm glad they did it with no explanation whatsoever. They just dropped them in. Like Dave Bautista is a 6'5" Filipino man.
Yeah.
Like that's already weird enough
I
in
was about to
itself.
say. Every time I
Shout
think
out to my Filipinos.
yeah.
But yeah, he's a Harkonnen, and the rest of the Harkonnens are these like. Also, side note, I really think they look like that because this man, the author spent time in the Middle East. I
Mhm.
really think he was shitting on white people by making the Harkonnens, even though he's white. He's white himself, right? Isn't he a white guy?
He's French, yeah.
Oh, see, he was shitting on like probably British white people. Then why would he do that? They look crazy. they're the original colonizers in the movie, and then you show up
I
with
think they
Atreides,
look
and they're like,
weirder in the
nah.
old movie.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's a different kind of weird. Like, but yeah.
I also want to give a shout out to Stellan Skarsgård for being constantly covered in shit for some reason in this
Oh my
movie.
God.
Yeah.
He's wearing a giant fat suit, and on top of that, like they have him in this
Shit out.
giant bath of oil.
Look.
His Vegemite bath.
Yeah, molasses
So
does the
nasty,
body
man.
good. I don't know.
Ugh.
Papa Skarsgård is a good actor though.
Oh yeah,
For me, my favorite aspect, I was going to say the visuals, which
Mhm.
not taking anything away from the visuals
Yeah.
and the cinematography, especially. Like it's a beautiful
Mhm.
movie. Looks great at every single moment.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Now that I actually 90% know what the fuck is happening, I'm like, yo, this is a really good story.
Mhm.
Yeah, it is.
So I'm still going with the cinematography, but now that I know what's happening, I'm like, yo, I'm really invested. Like I'm so excited to see part 2.
Yep.
Do y'all have a favorite scene?
Mm.
Mm.
My standout one is the harvester sandworm scene.
Yeah, like that's the oh shit moment of the
Yeah, the scale was just insane for me. And this is coming from me, I love Godzilla and
Yeah.
Jurassic Park and
Oh,
giant
sandworms
robots.
are kaijus.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey.
And like, even though I like as much as I love those movies, I still don't think, except for maybe -1, you don't really get that kind of scaling where it's just like you feel it as though you're there.
Yeah.
Like I could look at this, and they did such a good job at showing him up against the harvester, the crawler, before the worm got there, where you already know,
Yeah.
like, man, whatever's coming that can take out this harvester must be enormous. Because look at him beside the harvester.
He's standing he's like literally right next to like the what do you call those the track things on the harvester.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
seeing how small he is next to that, and
Mhm.
then that whole thing gets swallowed up, man.
Excellent job on that.
Excellent job on scale.
Yeah, for sure.
These things are big.
You got a favorite scene, Chris?
I'm gonna say the escape scene with Paul and Jessica.
Okay.
Um,
When
Mm.
he's when when she's gagged.
No. Like so when they're flying off, when they have to fly into the sandstorm.
Oh, the sandstorm. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fear is the mind killer.
Yeah, I mean, so is sand, because god damn. I think my favorite is a tie between the sandworm eating the harvester
Mm-hmm.
and the invasion. Like
Yeah.
seeing what's his name, Gurney, Josh Brolin be like, all right, let's do this shit. And
Yep.
then pirate Jason Momoa, like and just seeing all these dudes just flooding the freaking Citadel.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
I will
That
say
was
Duncan
Oh, sorry,
Idaho's
go ahead.
Last Stand was also that's kind
Oh
of my
yeah,
second
yeah,
favorite.
yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot that he gets back up. So
Right.
when he
Yeah.
got back up, I was like, oh fuck. And then he pulled the sword out
Mm-hmm.
and used it again.
So that was another one for me. The invasion. Another thing with scaling when he gets in the dragonfly copter, and that is big enough to hold 7 people.
Yeah.
But then you see how small it is compared to the attacking warships.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Like it looks like an actual dragon, like not even a dragonfly. It looks like a damselfly, the little ones, the skinny
Yep.
ones, running from somebody's hand, trying to swat at them when that laser's chasing them. It's insane. Like this big old helicopter thing suddenly becomes the size of an actual dragonfly. It's ridiculous.
Man, need to see that on a big screen.
Mm-hmm.
Do y'all have a favorite or an MVP character? Who do you think is the MVP character?
I like the Duke.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love
He's kind of badass.
I love a good leader.
I hate the fact that he died, but I mean, like you can see why he was so like he cared about people. Like he's just like,
Yeah.
what can we do for the Fremen? Like, we're not here to conquer, we're not here to steal. It's like we came here to do a job. Once the job's done, we'll be out of here. But
Yeah.
like this isn't like about profit for us. This is just because we were told
He
to come and
literally
do
says
this.
that at some point where they're like, but sir, the spice.
I don't care.
And he's like, to hell with the spice. Let's save these dudes' lives.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then there's a moment where the part where he's like, I need to know that you have our sons back.
Yep.
Like after that,
Yep.
he says one line. I forgot verbatim what it is, but he basically says like, I think I'm gonna die. And like him knowing that, like he felt it coming. Like he knew this was a trap the whole time. And then once he went out to see the harvester and shit and see how fucked up everything is and how hard all of this was gonna be, it started to settle in, like it's coming. And then when he woke up in the middle of the night, nobody woke him up. It's like his spirit felt like something ain't fucking right. And he got up and he looked out the window and saw the ships coming down. It was like, damn.
Yep.
You got one, Mauricio?
Oh, no, for me it was a Duke.
Oh, I'm sorry, that was yours.
Yeah.
You got one?
Also, yeah, I'm a sucker for a good leader. Like, like somebody that inspire you, and just like I was like, yeah, I could see myself dying under Paul's. Like, it's just like, no, this dude cares about me. Like, he wants to make sure like everyone's taken care of. It's like, yeah, no.
Yep. That's why his dudes were so loyal, and the only reason the doc betrayed him was like because they were torturing his wife.
But even at the fact that he betrayed him, he gave him. He's like, listen,
look,
he's like just, I'm gonna give you this tooth. When the time's right,
do what you can, and I'm gonna try and take care of your boy, and he did.
Yep.
He did. So I get it. And honestly, that's my answer too. But just to be different, I'm going to throw Dunk in the line with that.
My favorite potato.
I'll tell you I watch a lot of anime, obviously. Yeah. My second, because of that, is Little Paul, but not because...
And I remember there's an MVP character, and then there's a favorite character. So keep that in mind.
Oh.
Yeah.
Are we on MVP yet?
No, MVP was the first question I asked.
Oh, okay. So that was a Duke for me.
Yeah.
Dang, Duke's kind of both for me.
Most valuable character. I mean, you can make an argue that the mom is, since she taught Paul some powers, but he ain't really used them yet. So she might be the MVP character in part 2.
Well,
true.
So if we're doing favorite now, right?
Wait. Okay, so favorite character, and then what character are you actually? Because that's the fun.
Okay.
So
who wants to go?
Who wants to go first? Favorite
Which one?
No. So you give both. You give who your favorite character is, and then you got to confess who you think you actually would be in this movie.
All right.
Oh,
I can go.
Okay.
I'm gonna say my favorite character was Gurney. His story's not over yet. He's still with us. like that. He did damage on his way out. So
Yeah.
like
Mm.
again, I think I'm hoping to see more of him in part 2. Character that I'm most like, I'm gonna say it was the Duke. I mean,
Yeah.
I always try to approach things with some form of empathy. Like, you know, as a man, like as a manager, you can't do this on your own, so you got to make sure your people are taken care of, and like that's first thing you want to do.
I
So
got you.
yeah.
We use sometimes it depends on the episode, who's on the episode and what movie we're watching. But
Mhm.
sometimes we add a third option where we pick who we think each other are
Oh, okay.
or is. Sorry, bad grammar. Who each other is. But it's usually like the folks on the episode know each other better. Since y'all just met, I'm not going to ask that far. I'm not going to make it a super round. But
So for Tim, I'm gonna say no.
but Mauricio, you go.
So I would say, let's see, we're doing favorites. So my favorite is still the Duke for me.
Yeah.
MVP and favorite. Okay.
Yeah, he's my MVP and my favorite. And it's just gonna sound wild, but in this movie, I think I would unfortunately be Lil Timothy, Lil Paul.
Okay.
But I like Lil Paul because unlike most anime protagonists, even though he's been hand fed everything, he's been trained by the best and the best in fighting and the best in his superpowers. He loses everything after that and not before that. Because if you notice, even the way he spoke to the Reverend Mother, I liked that about him. How he was like, "Who the fuck are you talking to my mom like that? Like, how dare you?"
Yep.
And then he's like, "How dare you use the voice of me in my house?" Like, I like that little upstart in him, which is exactly what I would do if somebody messed with my mom.
Yeah.
I would be 100% the same way. But I would like to be, if I was little Timothy or little Paul in the movie, I would like to grow up to be like my dad and be the Duke.
Yeah.
Which I think he's going on that path because he already has the empathy.
Because
and now he's going
even
through
at
some
the end,
stuff.
his mom was like, "Yeah, we got to get out of here." And he was like,
He's
"No,
like, no.
I want to be with the Fremen."
Yeah.
So that's a good argument. All right.
He's got a lot of growth potential, I think.
My favorite character is our boy Duncan, whom I think I'm gonna go with the Duke too. Like when he said that he didn't want to be the leader, he wanted to be a pilot, but leaders are called and it's how you answer. Like whether or not you want to be, it's not what matters is if you're called to be and if you show up. And he showed up. And I'm not saying that like I'm a great leader. I try not to think like that, but I feel like if the call came, I would step up in most situations. Maybe not running an anime convention. I might leave y'all hanging with that. Not going to get into that, but in other situations, yeah, and I feel like I've ended up doing that before. Like there's a movie group I'm in on Facebook, and I've been in a long time, and I remember they asked me to be a moderator, and I told them no, because the last time I was a moderator of a big group, I ended up running it, and I hated every second of it, but I did it because I thought the people needed it, right? Like so. I that's why I picked the Duke. Not trying to like toot my own horn or anything, but I would be the one in most situations. I feel like I would step up, whether or not I wanted to actually be in that position.
See, this is funny to me because first of all, I gotta say, side note, I thought you were about to make a joke and say Duncan was your favorite, but you felt like you were James Earl Jones' little brother. I just thought you were about to say that for some reason to be funny. I was ready to start dying.
Now that you say that, I get the joke and I'm mad.
I was like, is he about to say this?
I wonder how many people or how much the Empire spent on this envoy. My eyes flipping back in my head. This much.
But no, like, so
3 people are going to get this joke.
See, that's why I like the Duke, because I'm oftentimes, especially like literally at work every day, I am not actually in charge of anybody, but everybody makes me in charge of them somehow, some way.
Yeah.
Whether it's
because you're the tallest one.
It's funny you say that.
Like remember Invader Zim? Like the leaders were the tallest aliens. Like it's a thing, and we could get into that later on, but it just be happening.
It's a thing. I will say I went to China with my cousins a long time ago, and we were the tallest on the tour, and the lady told us, that me and my big cousin that we would have been generals because automatically because we were taller than everybody else. And the Mongolians were so big that they needed a big general so that people would feel safe and protected under their general. And I was like, what? No leadership skills?
That's what.
It's got to be big?
Hey, man, form follows function.
But no, yeah, like it happens to me all the time. And like, I mean, from the work that needs to be done to where we're going to lunch, even if I don't want to go to lunch with these people, they're like, where are we going to lunch? And I'm like, what? Are you driving? And I'm like, what? Little stuff like that where I'm like, why? Don't put me in this position. Leave me alone. Like I'm trying to be little Paul. Leave me alone. But they make me the Duke, and it's crazy because we're at work, so I can't be a dickhead, right? I got to be somewhat of a decent person, and I do have a little bit of empathy in real life. I'm not terrible.
Yeah.
I get forced to be the Duke, which is why I want to be like the Duke because I know I'm not like the Duke.
Yeah. Like I said, the best leaders are the ones that don't want. Yeah.
I even run from it.
That's
full speed.
I'm still laughing at the James Earl Jones cousin comment.
I just knew you were going there for some reason. I was going to say it.
I didn't say it because I don't want to accept it. Oh man, that's probably a better answer if I'm being honest. But god damn. Anyway,
they're both good in their own ways.
So I think we kind of covered everything then, huh? So, but if there's anything left that we haven't already said, any in conclusions, anything you want to get off your chest, now's the time.
I think they did a complete movie where if there was not a part 2 and you didn't know that there was more to it, it ended well.
Yeah, so I'll bring this up because Spider-Verse, Across the Spider-Verse, the second one, did this, and it's a thing that comes up every now and then. Is a half a movie still good enough to be a movie? And it depends on how it wraps things up. And even though Spider-Verse ended on a cliffhanger, if you look at the arc of the movie still has its own arc. And this one still had its own arc. So yes, there's more story, but it's still a complete movie, even if it ends with you knowing that there's more. It's still a complete movie, even though there's more story. So I feel that.
Yeah, I think it ended strong enough. Like the like you said, it still had a complete arc, and it ended strong enough where if for some reason it's never happened, it will still be a fun movie to watch, and you could just make up stuff for it. You're like, oh, did he and his mom go on to live with the Fremen? Did they escape? Did they fight back? I don't know, but it ended well. Like it wouldn't matter.
I mean, technically, like they lost, right?
Yeah,
but it's still an arc. And now we get to see the second arc of that. Yeah. So, got anything, Chris?
No. Great movie. Really looking forward to see the second one. Probably gonna end up going this weekend.
Yeah. I'm gonna be hitting y'all up probably in the morning to pick seats. So, because Cherry might be asleep now, but I definitely want to pick seats as soon as possible.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. I said everything I had to say along the way. So let's go into ratings. Chris, you go first.
I'll give it 9 bundles of spice out of 10.
That's wild. I was going to say it was a 9. That's crazy. I'll tell you real quick. So I've always known what Dune was before I saw the movie. I remember a friend of mine had the books when I was around like 10 or 11.
Yeah.
I was a big reader, and it was just too much. So I never actually read it at that age. Saw the movie like a year later, hated it. And then I was like, man, why does this guy like Dune so much? I was friends with this guy all through school. And he was just going on and on and on about how much he loved Dune. I could never understand it. But to me, it always was, I would see how people loved it as I got older. And it was like how do you say? It was, okay, here you go. If Star Wars was Biggie and Star Trek was Tupac, Dune was like Wu-Tang Clan, where like it was well respected and loved, but people didn't really find it till later.
Yeah, that's a good example.
It's like the big 3 of like sci-fi, modern day sci-fi to me, space sci-fi. They all have their own fan base and all that stuff, but you don't really know.
I even remember people trying to bring Dune into the conversation.
Yep,
it would be like the one guy, and then everybody else would be like, because they
Yep.
didn't watch it, or they didn't get it or read it, or they just didn't know, but they knew of it.
Exactly.
But they're like, I'm just trying to focus on these two.
Yeah, it's I guess somehow I don't know if because those early movies or something for some reason it didn't get the love it should have
I
gotten
think
back
it's
then.
because the first movie was too weird, and not
Yeah.
everybody read the book.
Yep.
Right.
But there was a series. I never watched the series, but I heard that the series was pretty decent. And
Mhm.
once again, there's that other one that I can't remember that may or may not exist. But yeah. So what you said, you bumping it up to a 9?
Oh yeah, so it was funny that he said 9. And I was already thinking 9 myself because I think this version of it was great.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what's really cool on Letterboxd? The reviewed button
Mhm.
or logo is an eyeball, or if you've seen it before,
Yeah.
it's a green eyeball. But if you go to Dune, it turns it blue.
Nice.
So I had this at an 8 out of 10.
Okay.
Which honestly at the time I felt like I rated it too high, and I was afraid people would look at me sideways. I don't know, but like I was like, look, I can feel that this movie is better than I feel like it is. I just need to revisit it, and I never did until now. And I'm bumping it up to I think it's a masterpiece. I'm bumping it up to a 9. I
Nice.
can't say it's life changing because
No.
I didn't like immediately get there, and I'm not there right now. But I think it's after rewatching it, and now I know what the hell's going on, and now why everything clicked. This is a great movie. This is an amazing movie. 9. And I like I said, I'm bouncing, waiting to see the second part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so excited now. So yeah, it went up. So 9 out of 10, and that's a masterpiece, and I would get whatever great version of this movie I can from my collection.
Hmm.
I know the Criterion doesn't exist, but whatever Steelbook fancy edition I could get my hands on, I want that.
Yeah,
All right.
for sure.
And well, that's the episode. Plugs.
Mighty Mauricio everywhere, if you dare.
I'm waiting to see if you're gonna plug the big one.
Oh,
Where else can the people listen to you at, Mauricio?
check us out on our Animu podcast, Brotaku Block, airing weekly.
I'm
Nice.
also on Brotaku Block. I'll admit I don't plug Brotaku Block enough. Not out of spite.
scared to.
I forget. Yeah, maybe it's subconscious. Maybe I'm subconsciously scared to plug it because I know we are reckless as fuck on Brotaku Block.
Yeah, somebody's gonna cancel me. They're gonna turn me into Kanye. I'm gonna be outside with a crazy beard. Him hasn't trimmed his facial hair in months.
Just don't put out an album with like Nazi symbols on it. I mean,
Jesus Christ! I was like, please, Kanye,
That
why?
boy wild.
yeah, you need help. Some help him.
I mean, that's another podcast.
Oh man, yeah.
Chris.
Nothing going on right now. But again, you can catch me at Instagram at I'm_no_artist.
All right.
Nice.
And you can listen to the podcast at SGBK Podcast. I'm sorry, talk to us, catch us on Threads at SGBK Podcast, Blue Sky SGBK Podcast. Oh, Instagram, because Instagram is Threads.
Mhm.
You can email us at sgbkpodcast@gmail.com. You can check me out personally on Letterboxd at Tifron and at Tifron on Blue Sky. Also, if you made it this far and you don't subscribe to us on whatever you listen to us on, I don't know what you're doing, but please hit that subscribe button and feel free to interact with us on those socials that we drop, because I want this to be like a club, right? Like it's a fun thing. Like you give your opinions, we gave you our opinions. You could tell us about the episode, about what you thought about the movie, all that stuff, So thank you. And next, part 2 of our Denis Villeneuve
Good. Good.
miniseries is going to be Sicario. That's on Amazon Prime. So check that out. All right, guys. Bye.
See ya.
Peace.